We're going to be live here preparing. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Friday Night Bricks. This is episode, well, actually, are we live? Does it say we're live? It's just setting it up, but I don't know. Maybe I was too premature. Okay, well, now it is. Well, welcome to another episode of Friday Night Bricks. We are at episode 72. I actually had a short episode last week after the high school football game I went to.
I caught that.
Yeah, I actually went to my nephew's game. He actually played, so it's kind of cool.
That was the shortest Friday Night Bricks ever.
Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Bricks. Oh, that's crazy. Sorry. I don't know why it's doing double here. Okay. So basically, yeah. So, well, and actually what the goal is actually, I would love it. Whereas because the goal was I knew I was going up against high school football. So what would be kind of funny to me is if I started catching some of the teamfuls watching where if they're at the game, like at the high school football game, and somebody walks up and says, what's the earpiece for? I says, well, you know what? You're watching your sporting event. I'm listening to my sporting event, and be like, sporting event. I says, yeah, I mean, I'm a big Lego builder, and didn't you know building Legos a sport?
Do you not have the Beyond the Brick Bricks Are My Sport hoodie?
I need to get one of those.
That is a good one.
Yeah, but I did do one last week afterwards when I got home. But it was kind of not as big. This one probably won't be super long, but it'll probably still be a good length one. We'll see. Obviously, we're going up against somebody. They were doing Hoosiers 1,000 thing over there on Hauling and Balling, I think.
Oh yeah, they're looks like they're live right now.
Yeah, so I'm basically just kind of they were live. Hoosier was in there. I think he's back to building now. I think is what he said. So I'm just kind of prepping my some of my sheets. I actually was going to print some sheets to attach my sale stickers to tomorrow after I sell the items, and so I'm just kind of prepping the sheet, and I was going to try and do it numerically in case. Welcome, Jealous Seagulls. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, MJ. Yeah, Lego is dope. And some of us actually, sometimes you got to be careful because it could be considered a drug. So you got to be careful you don't end up trying to, do, normal things with bricks like this.
Yes.
And I don't know where I did with my Lego straw, so I guess I'm SOL tonight. So, but yeah, so I actually did pick up some more figs. So.
What did you say you can't find?
Can't find my Lego straw.
Your straw?
Well, if you have a straw and you have substance like that, wouldn't you need a straw for, this stuff,
Oh.
We took a bad turn. I know. I'm sorry. But, hey.
I was so confused. I'm like, you're going to drink it?
Well, I could do that
now
too. Drinking it might be safer than trying to,
read.
Lego is plastic. You could put it in the microwave and heat it up.
Ooh, I could heat it up. Actually, it might actually be pretty good that way. Actually, you know what? Actually, if you need to take like old Lego price tags off, somebody suggested that. Actually, I use a blow dryer to actually heat up the box, and actually it peels right off. So
yeah. Oh, I saw on Instagram somebody did this. I'm gonna just copy what they did.
Welcome, Galagade.
It's a pretty cool idea. Hopefully, I have this piece. Yes, I do. Okay, so you take the pooper scooper person.
Yeah.
And then this is what the person did. Okay. Make a little mock here.
I'm stuck in jail.
Their chocolate ice cream ain't smelling so good.
But actually that's actually pretty good looking chocolate ice cream, actually.
That is the only reason I can guarantee you the versatility of that element is the only reason that element passed quality control. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Only way. It does work very well for like a Dairy Queen. I could see like a Dairy Queen mock.
Yes, I want them to make this in white, but then again, when will Lego City ever do that?
Right. Hello, Galagade. It's been a long time.
Wasn't Gallagade just on your stream earlier today?
It was in the morning. That's a long time ago.
Okay.
That's a long time ago, Reed.
Yeah, I had to bug out once you start doing the guessing stuff because I wasn't going to be able to do it. So
I was laughing so much. I could not, like, your suggestion was so confusing. You were like, draw a man eating plant that's eating minifigs, but a minifig is kicking it and it's spitting up parts of it.
no. I said draw a minifig eating plant and has stepped on a Lego brick, and in the meantime screaming and throwing up a minifig it had just eaten. So
And then,
yes.
well, okay.
Here's
So
Jealous Eagles. Hold on just a second. Jealous Eagles says, yes, it's 1 a.m. So how did you Lego heads all find each other? Well, Brick Freak here is a member of the Whistler group that I now belong to. And Kevin, I've known for probably too many years to count. I mean,
too many years.
too many years. You know, that's the the hashtag. You know, but yeah, I actually still have not finished that last episode. You guys got to tell me when the story actually starts.
Oh, well, you know what's funny? I was laughing about it. Is you ducked out at what, like 19 minutes in or something like that?
Yeah.
And the episode is actually dedicated to you in 23 minutes in.
Oh, after I saw the comment from collecting, I went back to the 23 mark, but then I stopped again because I was just like, well, it still isn't leading to the story. So
I think I'm trying to remember.
On this Lego.
Yeah, I know that is not Blacktron. That is 100% Triforce.
Yeah.
Speaking of Triforce,
When on Brick or not Bricklink, what do you Lego ideas that someone makes a Legends of Zelda set. Sorry, we don't have the licensing for that. You technically do.
yeah. Speaking of which, Link's Awakening launched on the Nintendo Switch today.
Yeah, I have a Switch. I hardly play it though.
I don't have the time anymore.
Mhm.
I'm always working all the time.
Aladdin game would come out for the.
hey,
from
but
the-
you happen to be here tonight, so
But I'm also working now. I'm finishing up my sculptures for sale at Comic-Con.
really, you're selling sculptures, really?
Yeah, I have. You can purchase. I'll have Link sculptures.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll have Mario sculptures, and then
Nice.
I have Pikachu.
How much are those guys going to be?
And Donkey Kong.
No, that'll be next time. I haven't finalized the price, but it'll be $50 at the cheapest, and it'll be $75 at the most expensive. I need to figure out what I want to land on. I did some research into the parts, like this without the base for Mario.
Mhm.
This is about I want to say this is about $35 in parts for this.
Oh,
So I need to make some kind of profit. So I'm thinking $50, maybe 60.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll have at my table, I'll have stickers. I'll have 11 by 17 prints. I'll have bricks in the
Comic-Con
middle.
at?
It'll be at Philadelphia.
Oh, I was gonna say like.
It's not the big one. Don't worry.
No,
it's
not
not-
SDCC.
It's not that, or New York. It's a very first time small show. So
I go
But
to
it-
a small Chicago one, C32 every year.
okay.
Last year I went as Willy Wonka.
But it's exciting for me because this is my first show ever to have a artist table. So this will be-
That's
You go
good.
to The artist alley area then?
yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
And type in these numbers so I can actually do this in alphabetical or numerical order.
Gallagade says, just got back from a mom's night out, so slightly tipsy.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
We got a tipsy Gallagade.
Let's see here. TTT POL TTT PIR. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to set up tomorrow because I was originally gonna put everything in my on the shelf tonight, but I just did not get to it. So
And so you're going to a flea market, right?
yeah, I have to actually be out the door by probably 4:30 in the morning.
So this is your
It's an
first
hour drive.
selling at a flea market?
Yeah. So I mean, I have a canopy. Actually, I think I got the steal of the century. Or not the buy of the century, because those things were actually, I picked it up and realized it was probably even better than half off.
What's better than half off? Free?
No, it was like it was 30, but I think it's normally supposed to be 80. So it's kind of like, ooh. I was tempted to go get another one, but I think I'll wait until after tomorrow and see. I don't want to ruin my karma for tomorrow. If I got one, that's kind of considered accidental. If you buy two, then you're kind of cheating the system a little bit. So, okay, let's see if I can do this now.
So what was your did you have to pay for like a space at the flea market?
Yeah, I'm only paying 15, so that's why it's worth going, at least trying to see how it works. So
Yeah.
that's not what it was. Actually,
Have you gone to this flea market before? Are there other people that
no,
sell Lego?
they say it's pretty good in the summer. It's pretty crazy. But no, I mean, I don't know what the fall one will be like, but they do kind of, the locals say it should be probably still pretty good. So we'll see. But I mean, for $15, I mean, even if I sell, I mean, I'm taking a lot of small stuff too. So I mean, average pricing on most of the stuff is $10 to $30. Obviously, I have a few big items. I got the Eiffel. I've got the
Bye, Galligade.
Bye, Galligade. A little blurry. So I don't know who's watching. Oh, doesn't seem like very many, but oh well. So
How many people are watching?
I don't know. I think it's one, but I could be wrong.
One whole person?
Well, Galligade was in there, but I mean, well, just like anything else,
Wait, I think never mind. I had it up and then I popped the chat out and then I closed it. So I had a really good idea today. I don't know if you were there in the chat this morning, Reed, but somebody made a really good suggestion that I hadn't thought about.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it all day, but they said that I should release like an art book of all of my doodles from the whole year when I get to the end of the year.
I don't know if I heard that or not.
I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. I mean, once I get to the end of the year, that's another, 6 or 8 streams.
Yeah.
A lot of doodles.
That is a lot of doodles.
Some people like them sometimes.
So, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, we'll see. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm just trying to, plus the other thing too is the more stuff I can actually get rid of or sell, the less I have to move.
Are you moving?
Well, I remember I got that new commercial thing, 600 square feet.
Yeah, I thought that was done. Is that done?
Yeah, I already signed my lease and I paid the security deposit. So yeah.
Oh, but have you moved into it?
Nope. October 1st I start moving.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of those things where it should be good, because obviously it's going to be a lot nicer than kind of what I've got right now, just in terms of space in itself. So dang it, I got to hunt for prices. But it's one of those things where it should be good. I mean, it's one of those things I have a it's got a like mezzanine. Oh, hey Kevin, look what I found. Dun, 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 dun.
Is that Iron Man versus the Mandarin Ultimate Showdown?
Yes, it is. It's got your name on it too.
It's the best Lego set ever released.
Yeah. So basically, here, let's see here. Let me see it. Let me find this.
Screen accurate.
So basically, this will be what it will look like. Let's see, so it's like this here. So this is kind of the place here. So it's got stairs. It's got the mezzanine. And then it's got all that space, and those shelves in the back are staying. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty cool. I think I took measurements today because I was nearby. So
that looks like almost like a storefront. Like you could set up a shop in there.
Well, I could if I probably built stuff around, but I mean, really, I mean, I'm not setting it up with insurance for that right now. I mean, I can change it later if I want, but right now I don't really want to do that. At least till I figure out. I mean, because I might still be able to sell a lot of it just the way I have been selling it. And then for tomorrow, this is what I picked up. So I picked up the canopy.
Yeah.
I showed you the picture. So I got the canopy and then I got the back and I picked up two sides. So it'll be one way in, pretty much a one way out. So you can't really, so that's what I'll set up tomorrow. And then of course I was creative with one of my shelves and put cardboard on all three sides. And so that hopefully I can put a lot of stuff on there because I wasn't planning on taking anything else. I might pull a card table out just for the heck of it. But I gotta make sure I can get it. I don't know if I can get it in there. So I might just take that and, hope it works. Plus, all the boxes, I can set stuff on the boxes, provide the grass isn't too wet or anything. So,
Don't forget to get change
I have some.
because you know how it is. When you're doing cash, you need to have some fives and some ones and tens and 20s and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shoot. Actually, you need to do that. Is it, what's tonight? Tonight is Friday, is it not?
That's why I mentioned it. It's always one of those things that you're like, oh yeah, change.
So I need to, because the drawing will happen soon. I got to make sure I put the right name on my Mega Millions ticket. So when I hit 200 million,
Oh, okay.
it goes all to the nonprofit.
Oh, Gallagate. So yes, Kevin, release a black and white version so people can color in it themselves and sell it on Etsy. That's not a bad idea either. Just I could easily. Oh, actually, I don't know if I can. I've saved out all of the full canvases after I did it. So anything that I added color in is now kind of permanently with color on it. But any of the black and white ones are still black and white.
I was thinking I was going to get more change, but should be prepped. Well, I sold that. I bowled last night, and I sold that one set. So I should be pretty decent. Might need some more ones. The more I have to figure out where to do that. Yeah, we'll find out.
I feel like Brick Freak is brooding in a secret lab. Like
I think he must. Let's hope he's not vaping. Because
I don't
does
get
look
the
a little misty in there.
just my light. See?
Oh, that's even darker.
Yeah, it's just my light. This is all that is.
Probably it's just the wrong. Maybe it should be
See?
maybe behind the monitor
See? It's
or
just-
behind you. I don't know.
That's all that is. It's just my light.
Oh, it's probably too close to the camera or something.
I
'Cause
don't
now,
I
you know,
spend
one-
more money on Lego. I don't have time to
Huh?
spend money on vape stuff.
I don't.
what was that? I wasn't listening. I was talking.
I spend all my money on Lego. I don't have time to go buy the vape stuff.
Ain't nobody got money for them vapes.
That's good. Stay away from that stuff.
Yeah, I always do.
It's actually in essence, like they said, it's smoking. It's helping people
stupid.
you
Is
know,
what it is.
cure their smoking habit. So in essence, like they've been saying, if you don't smoke, you shouldn't even be going near that stuff. I
get high off life.
I get high off of Lego, man.
Well, I mean, with those jokes you said earlier.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, we are all wearing kind of black t-shirts tonight. Well, it's black. It's a blackout night. It's high school football, so it must be blackout night. So black shirt, black shirt.
T-shirt.
Well, it looks black in the dark, so it's the black shirt night. So yeah. Well, actually, it is Brick World, Michigan this weekend, so I'm wearing my Brick World shirt. In honor of that, and it is 2019, so it is. I am wearing the correct shirt.
Which Brick World is it?
Brick World, Michigan this weekend.
Ah, Michigan.
And actually one of these years I'll go because my mom's got a friend in Lansing, so I'm probably going to go one of these years. I just need to make sure I have time. I think I need to put on the goal for Brick Fair, Alabama early in the year, Brick World, and then I don't know what else. We'll have to see.
Are you going to come help set up Brick World in Alabama?
Brick
Fair?
I'm thinking about that. I mean, that would probably be the way to do it, and maybe build because obviously by then, hopefully I should be able to build maybe a micro scale Hope Castle. Yeah. Hey, Brick 25, welcome to Friday Night Bricks.
Because yeah, I
Welcome.
mean, we're obviously right now we're kind of fully in the mindset of Brick Fair, New Jersey, which is in about a month.
Yeah.
But I know we are always looking for move crew help.
Yeah, I mean, it's since it's at the start of the year, it'll probably be a little bit easier to actually get that. I mean, the problem was the other one came up, pretty quick, and somebody's got, I think, time off somewhere in there. It's like crap. And plus, Train Fest in Milwaukee is the following weekend, and I need that one because I promised that one a long time ago. And so it's kind of those things where it was tough to add something to, my itinerary and miss that, after I promised. Especially once he did the layout around the castle. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I get it.
So yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely looking for that. I mean, obviously, it's something where I can maybe let them know early enough, to get. Because isn't it like, what week is it? Is it like second or third?
Let me see. I think I got it on my calendar. Brick Fair, Alabama. You would be needed Monday the 13th through Monday the 20th.
Now the question is, the 13th, is that something where in the evening or during the day on that day?
So usually what Todd does is he likes everybody to be ready to go first Tuesday morning, like 9 a.m. ready to work. So he flies people in Monday, usually late afternoon or early evening. So you probably wouldn't even get into Alabama until the evening. But
so basically, I could work that Monday and fly out that afternoon, because I work so early in the morning. I'm done by 2:00 at the latest, generally.
Yeah, with your schedule, you'd probably be fine.
And then of course Monday you fly out sometime that day, which means I could still work Tuesday morning. So basically, it's the true.
Monday, the following Monday, you leave as soon as the trucks are loaded, and as long as the trucks show up on time, which at Brick Fair, Alabama, last time they did not, but they normally do show up on time, then you're done at around 11 or noon. But they were.
How far? That'd be the funny thing is how far is the round trip drive from there down to see Bricksmith?
From Alabama? I think you're probably looking at a 15-hour drive.
Okay, that's too far then.
Yeah,
I was joking.
All right, let's see.
So yeah, I'll definitely I'll be definitely putting that on my radar. I mean, there's Bluegrass Bricks. Welcome, Bluegrass.
Charlie.
So, it's one of those things I still need to somehow get to Virginia at some point, but not like it's a major rush. I actually raised some of my price on some of the stuff. I realized I started looking at dates. I'm going, that's like 10 years old. I got to raise that price a little bit, even though I'm trying to get rid of a lot of it, but I, went up on a few of them, but it gives me more wiggle room, I guess, too. So,
well, if you're willing to go to, if you're willing to go to any of the brick fairs and work them, I can get you into every brick fair show forever. But, I know you probably want to display your castle and you probably want to sit with it. And those are unfortunately luxuries that are not afforded to you if you are working the show.
Well, no, yeah, the Brick Fair, Virginia. Maybe if I might go to one of the early ones to work it. Yeah. That's why maybe if I brought like a micro Hope, like a really small one, like the size of a gray base plate, I can slap it out there and walk away.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe like the play. Well, actually, you'll laugh at this, because once I get this new space, the goal is to do some stuff. Do a video of the setup of the castle, like the one person did of that trench run of Star Wars. I need to do that. And then start planning for the destruction of the current Hope Castle, so I can build a new Hope Castle. So maybe build something more like Jesse's castle. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah.
Brick Freak has seen it, but it's on display at our local Bricks and Minifigs, but maybe build something more of that size, so a little bit smaller footprint, so his is like this. So here's his castle.
Thing's huge.
Okay.
So it's basically 3 plates deep instead of mine's like 6. So it's 3, but it's the tower's massive. So it's a big. Try to build something like that, more or less, at some point. But to do that, I need to destroy the current one, which means the lava flow is imminent. But I mean, we're working on a collab for 2009 or the 2020 Brick World. So I need to.
Is it better to sell Lego on eBay or Bricklink?
I would say Craigslist myself. Both those other places you're paying fees and.
Yeah, I've never sold.
Bricklink is cheaper, but yeah, you're still.
I've never sold anything on Bricklink, but I've done quite a bit of eBay selling, and eBay's, I think, okay. I mean, it had definitely cast a very wide net for clients, for potential buyers. There is the fees. You get charged 10% from eBay, and then of course, most of the time you're getting that through PayPal. So PayPal charges you an additional 2% for the PayPal fee. And eBay does a thing that I'm not a fan of. It's just what they've chosen to do. But eBay will send you a bill the next month for the current month. So they don't, like, I would much rather them just pull their fee out right away. It's like you sell it and then the buyer gives you the money and eBay swipes, 10% off of that and then gives you the rest. But they don't do that. They give you all of it. And then 4 weeks later, you get a bill saying, oh, hey, by the way, you owe us 10% of everything you sold last month.
Yeah, I sold two things, and I sold two things a long time, like two different things a long time ago, and they wanted me to pay $4.33. I was like, okay, sure, but like, that's weird. Why you're letting me know this like a month after I did it?
It is weird.
The stuff's gone.
It is totally 100% weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's situation is different as well. And if you need the money, you need the money. So you get it in and you pay bills with it or whatever, and then you're like, whoa, hold on, I don't just got that money sitting around now a month later. It's like
the other thing too is it's one of those things where you also have to figure out if you're going to do international, because the international sales are where you might get dinged a little bit too, especially if the tracking is substandard over there. I mean, Kevin's stories are heartbreaking half the time when, people,
Yeah, I've tried it. I've done a handful of international. I don't recommend it. It's just not worth it. There usually is no tracking information for international packages, which is already kind of a dangerous thing. And it obviously takes a lot longer to get to the people. So I don't know. To me, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I do like little eBay stuff. Like I'm got a bunch of stuff on there that I'm trying to get rid of. Just like old action figures.
Yeah, and the thing is though too is you might still end up getting people who are buying it here and having it shipped in the U.S. and then having some kind of mail forwarding. And I had that. And that kind of hosed me a little bit too. But I mean,
that happens all the time.
I was able to come to an agreement, so I lucked out.
Most of the stuff I sell actually are to people in Asia that just ship it to either Portland or Seattle or California, and then they just freight forward it over to Asia.
So I do have some of my Power Miner stuff going. What else do I got? I got a few things. Pretty much everything that's been on my Facebook Marketplace / my other stuff is going to be for sale. So
right now I'm thinking about just waiting till Brick World of next year and then taking the stuff to like the garage sale, because I've got like this another
garage sale is definitely a good feeding frenzy moment.
And then
that's going to be something where, I mean, I don't know who's going to be the person organizing it, but I mean, it's one of those things where I do enjoy that. That was actually good this year. So I mean, as long as I keep doing it.
Yeah, I bought a Persia set from you.
Yeah. Actually, was that the small one?
The Fight for the Dagger.
Which was that the bigger set, or was it?
Oh my gosh!
It wasn't the small one, was it?
No, it was the big one. It looked kind of.
Charlie says you need to use Facebook Marketplace.
It had this. Where's that piece? Ah, there you are. It had this.
Oh, yeah. I think I'll have one of those this weekend too.
So now, since I got the palace, I've got both camels.
Well, yeah, actually, I've got 2 palaces sealed out in storage, and I have 3 of that other set. So I must have sold you one. I think I have 3 left, but I'll have 6 of the little set with the skeleton and the black horse. I'll have 6 of those this weekend. So, but I also have, I think like 14 or something of them. I have something stupid amount. So it's like I said, I have too many things, and I probably bought it because of the skeleton. Because at the time there weren't a lot of skeletons in sets, and that's why I bought it. In the end, I just didn't build it, so it never really got used. That's the other thing too, is this new place might give me the option of actually having a city also, possibly. Cool.
Maybe you can just convert this whole place into your like streaming studio.
Well, I would have to get internet over there. I mean, I could, and it might happen, but as of right now, it's not on I mean, I'm gonna get everything here cleaned up and over there, and then just bring stuff to stream with here. And then see, I need to make sure everything goes right. Plus, I'm taking classes right now too, so till all that's done and everything, maybe then I'll go over. So
How the class is going? You learning anything?
yeah, actually, hopefully, eventually, with the new HTML class, hopefully, eventually, I will be streaming this stream live through my actual web page at some point. So hopefully, I need to ask some questions again on that. But I actually had it working in class. I took one of the old streams and had it piped through the web page I created. So it was pretty cool. So
what exactly would be the benefit of having it stream on your website?
more, if it's streaming on YouTube and then it's also streaming on my website. So if let's say I tell everybody, okay, guys, it's going to be a very clean show tonight. We're streaming live at Children's Hospital or something. Then it's one of those things where then they only have to go to the website and they don't have to go to YouTube. Which means they can go right to my website, which has all the information on the castle and all that, and it's just going through that site. So that would be the reason. So funnel people because I give out the cards all the time. So I just funnel them that way. And they can go to YouTube if they want, but I mean, then it's actually just at that central location. So that would be the reason for it over there. So
I got you.
except I can't find this one set for some reason. Wrote it down. Well, there it is. So it's one of those things where, I mean, but yeah, so I'm learning that, and then I start the Illustrator class starts October 1st. So.
October 1st, huh?
Yeah, October 1st, that class will start.
So are you going to get Illustrator? Are they going to give you guys Illustrator to use?
I'm guessing it's something that's on the network for the campus. I mean, put it this way: when I went there, I don't know, whatever, 20 some years ago, I don't remember it ever having a second floor. And so
Okay.
I'm on like the 3rd floor. So I was like, okay. So,
I only ask because Illustrator's not free. I pay $50 a month to use Illustrator.
Well, that's what I'm saying is it's probably something we'll use in class. And then, I mean, depending on, what happens afterwards, it'll depend on what I'm going to do with it and whatnot.
I'm going to tell you, they offer you a student discount on it, and you get comfortable using it. You take that. Don't even think about it. Like, I would kill to have my student discounts on those art programs.
Would they? You mean they might still do like a student, like monthly type thing, or?
Well, so when I was in college, you could say that when I was in art school, any of the software programs they offered to teach you, you could apply to get a student discount on those programs directly from like Adobe or whatever. You can't get that when you're no longer a student. You got to pay the full industry price, and industry prices are expensive on these things.
$75.99, $76.22. I got a lot. Oh, I missed one. Are you kidding me?
Have you guys gotten the new gingerbread house yet?
I'd say that's a no from him. I actually am taking my Indiana Jones sets too, so we'll see if the Temple Escape sells for $275 or close to it. We'll see. Somebody might have a heart attack just looking at that.
Do you like that gingerbread house, Brick Freak?
I don't know. It looked cool.
I don't know.
I need to get it because I have all the other ones except for the fire station, so I need to get some of those. But
I don't think it looks
cool.
bad.
Like toy shop. I got the old toy shop, the train station, a lot of the advent calendars, like almost every advent calendar since like 2006 or 2008.
Really?
Yeah. Like
yeah, I have a couple advents, but not very many.
Except in 2010, I got the Kingdoms, and then 2015, I got Star Wars, and then let's see.
Yeah, I do have a Kingdoms floating around somewhere.
I mostly did City because that's what was available then, and then they made Star Wars, and now that they're doing Harry Potter, I think I'm just gonna get Harry Potter and City.
I think it looks okay. Like I don't think it's poorly designed by any means. I think it's cute. It's cool. I don't think it's like I'm not partial about the fantasy diversions from the Winter Village theme. Like I was able to make a exception for Santa Claus because it's Santa Claus. But
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to have this very whimsical little Christmas town, and then all of a sudden you walk down the street and you go, "Whoa, look at that! That entire house is made out of gingerbread."
Not every house is the same.
And wait a minute,
I mean, it's probably going to be pretty neat. I mean, I'll probably pick it up at some point. I mean, it does look pretty cool from that standpoint. So, I mean, it's,
Reed, don't fall for the trap, Reed.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is the seasonal sets are the ones that I have all of them. That's kind of the one thing where since they botched the seasonal sets, obviously I'm trying to keep going with the like the little season sets, but now that's why I'm trying to do like the Winter Village sets. So
Wasn't the little seasonal ones like the Christmas care, and then like the
well, the little seasonal sets I collect were the ones that started like the first year. It was like summertime, springtime, all that, and then basically they did like the animals the next year, and then they went back and did some more minifig ones, the boxes, and they went back and did. Now the problem was the last year I collected a couple years ago they did the brickheads, and then they fired all these people, and then what happens? The next year they do brickheads, and I stopped. I said, "Oh, I'm done." They screwed up the whole order. I'm done. I don't need to collect anymore. Lego botched it like they botch everything in life, and so I'm done. So
Look, we have another Kevin here.
We do. He's still working on getting his video set up.
Yeah, very good.
Ooh. Well, it might be in this program. It's probably just looking at that video in the bottom.
Oh, no. I know how to do it. I'm trying to get my computer set up so it shows correctly.
Oh.
I'm putting together a Technic support for my computer.
Oh.
So I can connect it to my shelves, because I have shelves here that'll hold it up. I just need to tilt it up at an angle that it's not designed to sit at.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's fine. I mean, hearing you is generally sometimes just as good and as exciting as seeing you. So, hey.
Sometimes better.
Well, it depends on how good your internet is, I guess. If you're like Kevin and you have that Connecticut internet,
Oh, it's the worst.
then of course,
Our motto is still revolutionary over here,
that could be bad.
That's what they say. Still revolutionary.
So, still thinking you're in the Revolutionary War, still...
I guess.
Still hoping someone's going to save you, I guess.
What do you mean someone's going to save you? Connecticut helped in the Revolutionary War. Come on, Reed.
Come on, Reed.
Get with the program.
Well, maybe they're still hoping they would have been
What did
included.
Colorado do in the Civil War?
Huh?
What did Colorado do in the Civil War?
I don't know. I'm not in Colorado anymore. I wouldn't know.
He has
Or,
he's-
Revolutionary War. Sorry.
he left the state and is now 100% claimed no.
I don't know. They were probably if there was anybody out there, I don't know. They were probably just having a good old time hunting wild animals, I guess. I don't know.
True. Enjoying life before.
Yeah, enjoying that true winterscape before we ruined it all, I guess.
Kind of like the Winter Village.
Oh my God.
Had to tie it in.
I love it.
You did, yeah. You tied it in pretty good.
I love it. I'm a
For
fan.
that set, I was like, oh, that's a good set. That's a $150 set. I found it. Okay. At least
I
I'm
might as
hoping.
well start my video.
Oh, look at that. There we go.
Well, like I said, I'm trying to put jury rig a Technic setup up here so I can hold my computer up at an angle. So I'm throwing something together quick so I can hold everything up.
Oh, you mean like laptop or whatever?
Yep.
Oh.
Essentially, if I don't extend it fully, then the keyboard gets in the way and you can't see. And
M Lego says Brick World Michigan hype. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I don't think anybody in this group is going to that show, but I mean, if Mark Larson jumped on, I mean, he'd be welcome to hype it up a little bit, or or the ex Brick World person could jump on and hype it too if he wants, for Mark,
I'm sure it's 100% intentional, Kevin, but I appreciate the little dude rocking the Nicholas Bluetooth shirt back there from Lego Galador, 100%.
which one? Oh. This guy?
You, good sir.
Well, I
Yes.
think it's
Unintentional, but that's all right.
Right? Look, you want reference material?
here it comes.
Rocking the Nicholas Bluetooth shirt.
Yeah. Very nice.
Lego Galador.
I think that came up recently somewhere. I saw it or heard it on another stream somewhere. Somebody was talking about it.
Lego Galador?
Yeah, I don't remember where, but I remember it being a topic of discussion.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any Galador Lego stuff.
That's
You know what? Somebody found like maybe it was on one of the hauling and balling where they found like a poly bag of from Galador. Maybe Cheap Ass found it or something. I'm thinking maybe.
There was no poly bag, so it had to be a McDonald's toy.
Yeah, McDonald's. McDonald's, what they said. Yep, that's what they said. Yep.
I consider myself somewhat of a Galador connoisseur.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we are sorry. Sorry.
Surprisingly enough, I have almost every Galador set ever released. Almost.
Like I said, we feel sorry for you.
I don't find that particularly surprising. Of all people to be able to claim that, you would be high on the list of probability.
Well,
5, 6, 200. Oh, that's that Ferrari. I was like,
I did wish I had them. There's like two that I'm missing, but they actually, like most of the Galador sets really don't go for a lot of money, surprisingly enough. Even like sealed in box, they don't go for a lot of money. But there are two Galador products that were never officially released, or they were like semi-released and then they got yanked off shelf. And those characters can go like $100 each.
I could see that.
So, needless to say, I do not have those.
You didn't need to say it.
I know. I did it anyway.
It was needless.
we would have thought you maybe had it. So
I have all the others. I've got all the other ones. I've even got the Keck Powerizer suit, which has a built-in like an old school video game screen on the back, and it has a voice box. So I'm supposed to talk with the television. And it still works.
So, Mr. Wagner, what's the next show you got coming up? Anything exciting, special?
I think we're going to do a winter show at the Nature Center here which will probably be a display that's up for a couple of weeks or a month. And then after that, it's probably Brick World Milwaukee. So
When's that seasonal one up there? When's that one taking place?
which one?
The one you were talking about, that like seasonal one?
Oh, probably the month of December. So the show that we do up here at Bay Beach every year is sponsored by the Parks Department. And so
I went to that one. That was good.
yeah, exactly. So they let us meet at their wildlife sanctuary each month, and then they're interested in having us do shows and things for the kids. So it'll end up being at the wildlife sanctuary, I think. If we can work out the details. So Scott put something up there last year. Like he had a Christmas layout that was kind of like the Christmas village with a train going around and stuff.
How big was that area you were using then?
It was probably 4 standard tables, 4 2.5 by 8 tables. So,
Cool.
but we might actually do a weekend show up there, or we might do a semi-permanent display up there. They've got an area that works pretty well that is kind of fenced off, so we might do that. We'll see.
That'd be pretty cool.
So we drafted the pop-up book on Wednesday. So I got a ton of dark green. This doesn't look.
Wow, that would have been something I wouldn't have mind drafting. Did you do the poker one? Was it the poker style or just a
No,
regular?
this was a standard draft. The poker one takes too long.
But I love that one.
What is a poker draft?
I've got the 3. Oh yeah, tell her.
It's not necessarily a poker draft. Everyone has the same parts, so it's usually with a smaller set. And then when you bet, anyone that wants to match has to match with the same pieces. And then we come up with relative values. So the minifigures, I think, were worth $3. We had a couple pieces that were 50 cents a piece, and then everything else was 10 cents a piece. So
I meant the other one. What was the one draft we did up at?
the auction draft. That was
the
fun.
auction draft. That's the ones I like.
Yeah.
What are all these variants of draft?
We'll be doing it Brick World this year. I needed to try it out on a few people before I could run it at Brick World. So
Actually, I have 3 of the Supergirl high schools that is the only way I will draft that set is with that auction set. Auction. I will not do it any other way because it's got too many pieces I wouldn't want to maybe lose out on. And so that's why you do it, Kevin, because you have a chance where you might not lose out on a piece, but it might cost you a lot more than you maybe would have thought it would have cost you in the long run.
If you've done a fantasy football auction draft, the way it works is everyone has a certain amount of money quotation marks, and they can bid as much as they want on pieces. So if you want to do a draft and you have, let's say you have $100 and you want to spend 50 of it on one lot and 50 on another and get nothing else, you can do that if you want to.
Interesting. Okay.
Back and forth. So we've done it a couple times now, and it works pretty well. So
it's actually pretty awesome. I actually was pretty. I was psyched by the way it worked.
So you're saying it changed your life, Reed?
A what?
It changed your life?
It did change my life.
I don't believe
Oh, okay. I was like, man, that set can't be $140.
We got Hoosier bricks.
No, I'm over here.
Oh, hey Hoosier, how's it going, buddy? Congratulations on 1,000, buddy. Nice job.
Oh, did you finally hit it, Hoosier?
I think that's why they were hauling and balling with streaming tonight because he hit the 1,000.
Congratulations.
Good job.
You did it.
Does that mean you're a professional YouTuber now?
I don't know.
You gotta teach me then.
Teach me too.
Teach me the ways.
I think we need to learn from the Hoosier. Hoosier, show us. Hoosier, tell us the way to get to 1,000. Come on, buddy.
I've been running my channel for 5 whole years, and I'm at like 147.
The one thing is you need probably something regular for one thing, kind of like this, where you do something every week.
Yeah.
You need to do something that's kind of,
Problem
I think that's what they do say. It's got to be more regular, I think.
Problem with my work schedule. Sometimes I have to work like Mondays or Thursdays or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that makes it tougher.
What do you do for? What do you work? What do you do?
I work at Farm and Fleet. I stock shelves.
Oh, okay. You're hey, that's important though.
Yeah.
Don't you downplay your role in that.
I would say I'm stocking shelves tonight by sorting my brick.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll be doing lots of sorting in this new place. That is for sure. I can't wait to start. And if I have people, like Kevin says, have people come over, as long as people want to be blindfolded, that's fine. See, they don't know where it's at. Meet me here, and I'll blindfold you.
Hoosier said, I think it means I don't know what I'm doing. And Scott's Toys says, congrats, Hoosier. Hey, panel, I'm in lurker mode. Someone's got a new kid, so I'm assuming he's not going to join. That's all right. It's all good.
Oh, I didn't hear that. That's good. Congratulations. But that's okay. Lurker mode's good. Kevin, you're usually in lurker mode, so you know.
I usually am. My wife's actually closing today. So
Well, Hoosier said took him 4 years. Well, I'm at 1 year of solid stuff, but I've been on YouTube for at least 5 or whatever, 10, somewhere in there, 10 plus, I think. I don't remember. Go look and see when my video was for jumping. When was Kids Fest Denver? I jumped into Lego bricks. It's pretty close to when I started, so it's been a while.
I find that funny because every now and then YouTube shows me that video like, oh, you should watch this. I've watched it. I've watched it a dozen times.
Yeah, I watched when you fell into the bricks.
Yeah, but it comes up like every
Actually,
now and then.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
With Lego.
At least they don't show the one where I actually hurt myself. That's good. I tried to do the face plant. The face plant into Lego was not a very enjoyable one, but you know. 9462.
Have you had enjoyable face plants then?
Just the back flop. The back flop was the best. Just anytime you slide face first into anything, it's generally not a very enjoyable experience.
You know, over the years, I've seen so many people express interest in diving into the giant pile of Lego bricks at Kids Fest. And I'm always like, I don't understand why any of you think that's a great thing to do. It's like, I can understand taking a photo in it, but jumping into a giant pile of jagged, sharp edges, and everybody always gets hurt every time.
Yeah.
Maybe you should describe.
Oh, Hoosier says the Lego City helps a lot. Yeah, I mean, well, if I get the castle built, I plan on doing some pretty good stop motion. I do have one out there that could take a while to do with 800 ice bears and a couple hundred allies. And it's a Wisconsin thing, so it should be interesting. If I can do
new custom.
Huh?
Where are you doing that?
My new custom.
Oh, when I get the new castles, I got that new commercial place I'm getting.
Oh,
When I
yeah.
get when I get the castle set up, I want to do a big stop motion of the whole castle, having the ice bears do something, and it's something that generally happens at Wisconsin sporting events, and it's going to be a massive stop motion. Take a while to do.
I'm looking to do an entire Arkham series stop motion for my channel.
That'd work. That'd be
Based
good.
on Arkham Asylum or like the Arkham franchise.
Mine's gonna be a little bit more extensive, but it should be interesting if I can make it work. So we'll see.
That's fun.
And then again, I mean, I can always hope that Kevin decides to do his other Western film, and I can help build Western buildings and do some voices and
One day, probably when I move and I get a dedicated studio space.
yeah, down in Texas. Yeah, that's.
I don't have
A big collab stop motion video. That would be.
You should bring a Western build to Chicago. I would be up for that for a collab.
Who, me?
You.
I don't think I'm ever going to be in any place where I'm in a drivable range of Chicago.
We didn't say that it'd be something that you'd have a choice about, but okay.
Like I love to drive and bring all kinds of stuff, but my limit is like it's like 10 hours. I don't want to drive more than 10 hours.
Well, the thing is, though, you'll be down by Haley and some of those. You guys might be able to just rent some kind of a party van or something to bring a bunch of people up here, Or you might, be able to tag along with the other people that are down there. Like Steve Jackson and those guys. Not
Because hey, don't get me wrong, it actually makes me kind of sad that I can't take a lot of stuff to Brickworld because I get on a plane.
Well,
I-
but you could pack a suitcase of builds.
Yeah, but it's got to be like flat stuff.
he's done it. I mean,
I've
you
done
know,
it. Yeah, I did it last year. I took my Pokemon trainers, but I didn't like my new build. Is wait, can you see it in the? You could probably see it in this shot.
yeah, it's there at the top there. Yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah.
Come on, camera! It's that giant Mario build over there,
Oh, that thing's awesome.
and that's like not getting in a plane.
That is really cool.
It is a pretty neat one.
Well, have you tried shipping?
Oh no, I haven't even considered that.
We
Well, the
have
nice-
some people at Eurobricks that ship their builds.
There's this one guy I know. His name is Robbie Blocks. That's his Lego name. Blocks with an X because that's what the kids do. And he ships all of his stuff to every show he goes to. And I'm like, dude, you spend like a fortune. It's like he has this giant box and he ships it every time.
Hey, Hoosier says you should move to the Hoosier state.
What is that, Indiana? It's Indiana, right?
Yeah. You know, if I can hit the lottery, I'd maybe talk him into coming to Wisconsin.
I don't know.
It'd have to be a couple $100 million to do that. I don't think anything smaller than that would get Kevin.
Hey,
to,
Reed, you give me I'll make you a deal. You give me $1 million and I'm in.
You move to Wisconsin? Sweet.
$1 million. That's all I'll take.
gosh, I guess I need to play the lottery a little bit more regularly. I guess, you know. Actually, I have been playing the Mega Bucks. That's $4 million, but I bought a Mega Millions ticket today. Oh, look at this! Hoosier says they're building a $400,000 home right behind his house.
Oh, nice.
It's not
I'd
bad.
like to move. Let's just say I want to move somewhere that I'm no longer paying an absolute fortune to live. Connecticut is it's been fun and fine and dandy, and I'm ready to go to a lower cost of living somewhere.
Like Green Bay. Wisconsin has a much lower cost of living than Connecticut.
I believe you.
Let's see here.
And Green Bay has a much lower cost of living than Milwaukee or Madison.
Yeah, probably cheaper than Madison, especially with Epic here these days. But
It is cheaper than Madison. I know. I used to live in Madison.
really,
Yeah.
how long ago? How long ago?
15 years ago. I lived there for about 12 years.
15 years ago, maybe Reed was there at the same time.
No, I moved out 20 years ago, and then
I
came back.
lived there 20 years ago.
You lived there 20 years ago. What part of town?
Downtown, UW-Madison.
Yeah, collecting bricks has got it. Sounds like Texas is what you're looking for. It's probably what it's going to be.
Welcome collecting. Welcome, Dude Jude.
Oh, we got a Judith?
We got a Judith to the Judith is here, yeah.
Judith to the Judith.
Let's see here, 41, 30.
Hello, dude.
So, yeah, so. That's good. So what, are you building anything special Mox these days, Mr. Wagner?
I'm deconstructing pretty much everything. So I took,
Oh, so all the ones that have been built for the last while are getting destroyed?
yeah, I'm taking apart my pirate tavern. I got to take a couple pictures yet, and then take apart my lighthouse, and pretty much everything you saw at Bay Beach is being taken apart. I'm gonna
Okay,
need,
so like the Star Wars and that nice forest type thing?
Yep, the forest is already done. That took a long time to assemble, and I don't have another show that I'm planning to use it for. And I'm probably going to do another build in that same style. Oh, not yet, buddy.
That's good. That's very healthy. Good for you.
I typically take everything down every year. It's just the last 2 years I've kind of shortcut on my big builds. And
Yeah.
didn't have time. I waited too long to start building. 3 years ago I moved, so I pretty much lost that year for building. But then I got into the habit of doing half effort builds. So I'm doing it for this year, for next year, and I want to do it right.
Good. Hey, you know what? I'm proud of you.
I can't stand him in the same build forever. I mean, my pirate build is the favorite one I've ever done, and that lasted 3 years. So
Yeah.
Was that part of the collab at Brickworld or not, or was it something separate?
I did it as part of a big village 3 years ago, but I've never done it with anyone else. So
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the one thing we are planning on, we're trying to maybe do some kind of a castle type thing for the Brick World next year, since building bridges is the theme. So I've got some ideas if you're interested. I was thinking of trying to invite everybody from Wisconsin into that if possible to see, because we got castle people scattered all over. So
we
I mean,
but I've already promised an elven build to another collab. So I probably won't be building a pure castle.
oh, okay.
All the collabs.
This one hopefully will be pretty cool. So I'm hoping. And the idea has been kind of cemented within group members. So I mean, it sounds like it might grab hold. The only kicker is I want to try and talk everybody into going to the floor. That might be the toughest thing. So
To the floor?
yeah, I'd rather be down low than be up high. It's just personal preference.
I like the tables that Mr. Red used to travel with, where it's not quite on the floor, but he had those custom wood tables that were like, you know what I'm talking about, like really low, that he used to use.
Like a foot off the ground or something.
Yeah, for his Viking village.
Like that.
Well, actually, I mean, did you see the way that Bonahum did the tables this year, where he had those special supports? So they were quite low, but not, on the floor.
I think I missed it.
Well, he had built like cross sections, and they were, I don't know, maybe a foot tall or something. And they just they were a big stack, and they just slid together. They had the notch where they just kind of slid together, and they locked, and they just put two of those under the tables, and it just supported the tables, which is good. I mean, it worked for what everybody's doing. I mean, to me, if it's on the floor, though, I can actually stand on it, and whatnot, walk around a little bit,
You just want to be a giant in your own builds, Reed?
The Ice Bears want their master to be a little closer to them.
The Ice Bear Master.
Actually, I think I've got a new nickname now. I'm just going to call myself Mr. Transparent.
Mr. Master.
Pretty cool.
Mr. Transparent. Kind of like, Mr. Flexible, but, I just, since I'm transparent,
Let's see right through this, Reed.
Huh?
I can see right through this. I know what you're doing.
I was trying to think of a good joke, and you beat me to it.
It wasn't the best, but it was decent.
It was something.
I wouldn't take it back if I had the opportunity.
We're getting there. I'm going to get there, and I'm going to be able to start open these figs. I picked up some more figs. Hey, Kevin, did you end up Mr. Hinkle, have you enjoyed your Disney figs? You've been enjoying those guys?
So I, as embarrassing as this will sound, I got the shipment, obviously.
Yeah.
I got the figs, and I took the figs out of there, and I put them in a box.
Yeah.
And that is where they have been ever since.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I actually have not even looked at
Frozone.
I've not even looked in. I haven't enjoyed. You haven't enjoyed them yet.
I do enjoy them, and I'm now in need of the newest series, of course.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, you'll see as I open some here in a little bit that there is one that I do like a little bit more than the others, and I've been buying a bunch of him.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
We know it's a him now.
You know that. Yes.
I assume I know which one it is.
Have you been buying them already?
What was that?
Have you been buying the series already?
Yeah, I've already got at least one or two of the ones that I want. I got to get a few more of the monkeys, a few more of the Blacktron figs, and a few more of the Fright Night figs, even though I despise the trans blue faces and stuff.
Oh, that's what I love about them.
I'll trade you. You can have the trans blue parts if you give me the torso and the shield and the armor.
I'll have to think about that. It might be an option.
Because I will not be using the trans blue stuff at all.
Kevin, do you have the entire Disney set, or?
Yeah, Reed. Well, I haven't confirmed, but I have no reason to believe Reed has double crossed me. He
No.
one of each. No, two of each, right? Two
Yeah,
of
I
each.
so
have
you,
an
you got,
entire set.
two full. Kevin, you got 2 full sets.
Yeah.
I have an entire set and one and then my doubles include 1 Jafar, 1 Jasmine, 1 Edna Mode, and then 13 Frozones.
Well, what's funny is as Kevin what might laugh at is Kevin's got 2 complete sets of that Disney set. Even I do not have a complete set of that series yet, which is
I think I have too many Frozones. I have 13.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe, but that's okay, you know.
It's my army.
Yeah, you got a Frozo army. They might stand up a little while against the Ice Bears. I'm not saying they'll stand up very long, but maybe a little bit, you know.
That would be pretty funny. Have
The Ice Bears are used to the
go up against
cold.
your Ice
So,
Bear.
plus,
That'd
the Ice Bears have ice saws, or should have, you know.
Yo, Frozone's got skis.
Ice saws?
Yeah, I think that's what I put in the lug book this year. I thought they're right here.
Frozone can create ice walls to like basically enclose the bears.
Well, that's what I put on the. Wasn't it this year? I thought it was this year. Yeah, these guys. So they got. So the that was one of the pieces. One of my guaranteed picks was these guys. These ice saws.
Can't see 'em.
I can't see it. Oh,
Wow.
the Scarlet
Hey.
Witch piece
Mr. Wagner, it's in trans blue too. Imagine
They're
that.
like blades.
from the Star Wars set. Reed,
I don't know what it's from, but I
I know that's from
looked good.
Scarlet Witch from the Marvel. That was her like.
Wasn't that? Didn't we draft the carriage from Fantastic Creatures?
We did. Was it in that set?
I don't know. That's the one we did the auction draft for, though.
No, that
That was the one I paid for those purple wands and paid 100 of my like $300 for those
That's
things.
right. Yep.
Not realizing that was probably something I made a mistake on and drafted too early, but picked too early.
It was our first time trying it. Plus, every draft is going to be different in the auction style because you can't.
Well, yeah, because you just don't know if you get new people, they might not understand the ability to maybe pull people out of their game, I guess, you know.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing is that since we did it at, didn't we do it at Scott's that night? Were you there the night we did it at Scott's too or not?
Yeah, I was the one that did it.
Yeah, so we had another chance to do it and it worked pretty good too. I mean, I've kind of fallen in love with that. I just haven't had a chance to try it down here with the guys in the group down here yet. So.
Reed, every time you come up to Green Bay, we will do that draft for you.
Maybe I'll have to bring the Supergirl high schools and just make a trip up there.
You know, in November, we're meeting in Menasha, which is a little closer.
When's your meetings for that?
Wednesday nights.
We got a Doc Sampson in the chat.
Welcome, Doc. Yeah, I mean, if it's maybe. If it's in November, possibly, if my class is over with by then. Huh?
You guys like the new football piece?
I haven't held it.
Can you turn it sideways? No, sideways. No, like vertical. Turn it vertical. Yeah. You know what? I keep feeling it. I'm like, what is this stupid piece I keep feeling all the time? Like, this is nuts. I'm like, oh, okay, it's that piece. It must be this.
I want his face, but nothing else.
You want just his face.
You said
Hey, let me see his face up close. Does it look like this, kind of?
I don't know.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, and then his other side is like, yep, just got back.
Yeah, I need to get. My mom asked again, when you get this fixed, this is when I start selling some Lego and have some money in the bank so I can pay the dentist for the
Money
fix.
in the bank.
you said you were feeling a piece.
Oh, Kevin.
What? I didn't do anything.
I kind of like his shirt, but I mean, I don't really care for the pants.
That's the problem. We're gonna have one of you guys have to get a different nickname. We might have to just the Hinkster, I guess. We'll just call him.
Kevin is not our nicknames; they're our real names, Kevin.
I don't forget the Riddler.
I'm Kevin, but you can call me Kevin.
Exactly.
Hello, my name is Brick Freak.
Terrible.
one of not to get at all political, but
Uh-oh.
one of my favorite. I laugh every time I listen to it. Was that that very brief press opportunity forever ago, and Trump goes, Nancy Pelosi, or as I call her, Nancy.
I missed that.
You haven't heard that one? It's so
I
good.
haven't.
It is so good.
It's funny.
It is the best one. I laugh every time. It's like, oh, do you now?
9-1. Wait, we're getting down to the bottom here. We're gonna open figs here in a little bit. I'm just trying to get all this set up here.
Yeah, bluegrass. I'm trying to get the flamingos too. I don't care about the rest of it. I'm trying to find a way to use that purple hair. But those flamingos are the one thing I like to get in bulk. I wish that the legs would have been removable or they were in white, so it was a little more realistic for the animal. But that's one I got to pick up more of. And it took me a long time to figure out what that was because the flamingo's neck is so spongy. And so
You feel for the rod is what you're feeling for, that
You
the
can make,
post.
yeah, now I know that.
You can make the fairy godmother from Shrek.
You said feel for the rod.
Oh, man.
Kevin, you can make the fairy godmother from Shrek. From Shrek 2.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
There.
True. I can't make anyone else from Shrek too.
Well,
They need to make Han Solo's hair in blonde. Because then I can make my Prince Charming custom. Because that's what his hair looks like.
Yes.
he said charming.
Sure.
No, the best one is you said feel for the rod.
That's funny.
Where's Blaze? We need Brick Blaze. Where's Brick Blaze?
Yeah, fun.
He's got one of those. He's got one of the stream decks that you have like a little soundboard on it, and so he can like play different audio clips. So he has a bunch of Beavis and Butthead ones where it's like, what?
Make Beavis and Butthead Legos. That'd be funny.
Doubt that.
I took a long time to appreciate.
Oh,
Beavis.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
I haven't watched it in since probably 7th grade.
that was like the cartoon that my parents really did not like me watching, so it made me really want to watch it even more. And so I would sneak myself at night, turn the TV on really, really low, and I would watch it.
Wow.
So there are 2 episodes that I always remember, and I think they're separate. One is the one where they copy the money to try to make money, and they're copying nickels and dimes for 10 cents a piece.
What?
They're
That's
so
funny.
it's such a cultural icon.
The other one is where they're making where Beavis wants to make pancakes. I think in the middle of the video.
Shut up, Beavis.
Where's the waffle maker? Oh, I found it. It's under the bed.
Oh, I know.
Where's the mayo?
Oh,
Oh.
So
Video.
Hello, Moto.
cool. I've got that done. So I'm gonna open. I think I have a flamingo in here. I think somewhere. We'll see. Oh, Moto's here. Welcome, Moto.
Hello, Moto.
Video.
I know he's been he's in different it's a different season for him right now, I think. Right? Collecting of other stuff.
it's Rockin' Minerals show season.
Oh, that's right. Hey, has he gotten any of the tiles from the original brick engraver?
I don't know.
Oh, so what do you want? The torso, the armor, and what else?
Shield.
Shield. Oh, you don't need the legs or the helmet?
Torso.
Huh?
I said I want the bat stuff, the armor and the shield, and the torso. You can have the rest if you want it.
Just wait.
So I would split the figs with you if you had interest in that.
If I
Ah.
see any Pokemon My dad gives it.
I would keep you posted. Because I am acquiring a lot of them. What are you gonna use what are you thinking of using the fig for? Are you thinking of just building an army of some kind or what?
Let me take you over to my castle armies.
That's what you say. Who wants to know?
I need to build a castle.
Oh, look at this. He's walking. He's walking.
Keep walking forward. Keep
He's
walking.
got. It looks like he's got. Oh wow. Ooh.
Whoa.
So this is half of my castle armies.
Is that all castle guys?
It's all castle and fantasy. And then
Wow.
everything you see before you?
You know what? I mean, one of these years it needs to be you, me, and then. Well, actually, I wish the Campbell brothers would come back. Remember the guys? How long have you been going to Brick World?
The same number of years as you.
Boom.
You remember the Campbell brothers, the last year at the Weston? They're from Wisconsin. Remember their 2 castles they had, that huge setup? They were, I think, in the main ballroom. But they
If
had
I went back and looked through my pictures, I probably would, but I don't remember.
yeah, but they're from Wisconsin, and I talked to those guys, and that's kind of where my castle started. I just couldn't build it like they had with the plates. The plates just wouldn't work that way. But I mean, they actually had a massive setup too, and I think they said they had to go buy more plates to put their guys on. It was crazy. But,
Yeah, I kind of have a separate collection of plates devoted just to minifigures because I have about as many Star Wars minifigures as I have Castle minifigures. So
the other thing is Michael Frederick down in Illinois has got that. He's the one that's got all the historical guys too. He had all those ships. Oh, look at that! It's a flamingo. I'm not gonna build it. I'm just gonna bag it. Flamingo. It's in my box of bag. MJ is back. Yep. So, flamingo. Yep. So, I usually feel for that the post on the flamingo. Usually you'll snag her, feel her hair too. Or you'll get the plants.
I gotta get the pizza guy.
So, yeah. I mean, well, the couple stores I've been to, there've been a lot of them in there, basically.
yeah, it took me a while to find the pizza guy. I was surprised. He was one of the last ones I
I
found.
think the first place I had, they had a bunch of them, and then the last couple, the last one I went to, I don't think had any. I think to really tell you, it was kind of funny. I don't think they had.
These are the ones that I need. I need the knight. I need the monkey dude. I need,
2 flamingos in a row.
pizza man, and then I need the flamingo person.
I already have one open, so these are like 2 extra flamingos.
Are you gonna sell them tomorrow?
No, actually, the box behind me over here of all my sealed CMFs, I need to open up, and I don't pop blocks or whatever said probably just build them and put them in a bag type thing, like what he did up at Bay Beach. I don't know. We'll see. Because I don't know how much people. I mean, the thing is though, to sell them at flea markets, stuff like that, sealed really doesn't. Nobody really is gonna. They're not gonna sell as well because no one's gonna really. You want to visually see what you're.
Yeah. I remember I was at the Lego store like years ago. Like I don't remember what series it was. I want to say the orange series with the Frankenstein guy. I want to say it was that because it had the rock star on the front of the bag. And then it was me and my mom. We were in the Chicago or the Discovery Center, just the store part of it or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I went to the Discovery Center. I don't remember, but like I was younger, like a lot younger. And then this woman with her kid goes up to the register with a pack and says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna open up these to get the one my son wants." Just open the packs.
That sounds about like what customers do.
I think she opened up like 3 packs before some guy had to come in and stop her.
My favorite thing that customers would do back in my Lego store days was young mothers would let their kids use the pick a brick wall as a play area, and then they would eventually find themselves with a cup, and they'd fill up the cup with parts from the wall, and they'd come up to the register, and just with a big old smile, as happy as can be, would put it on the register going, thank you guys so much. He just had so much fun playing at that wall. There you go. We'll see you next time. And I'm like, that's not how that works at all. Okay.
That's funny.
Well, what's
I
even
love that.
better. What's even better is I liked the parents or the parents that would go over to the well, actually a couple ways, the BAM bar, and just fill the bins. I mean, just fill the little holders with just tons of pieces, and come up and go, yeah, that's going to cost you a lot more than $10.
Yeah.
And I think
Guys,
one
Bert,
time
are you
I watched
running into this?
I watched a parent actually teach their kids to do it the wrong way and hide it upside down or something, or not even bring it to the counter and just say, "Oh, I just got a BAM." And I was like, "Really?"
You watch like a parent teach their kid how to steal?
Yep, pretty much. Yep,
Wow.
yep.
I'm sorry for your Lego store experiences. Mine was much less traumatic. We had much more civilized people here in Wisconsin.
Good for you.
Well, it is one of those things.
I got another story, a Lego store story.
I'd like to say that it was limited to Colorado, but seeing on how I worked in Colorado and Arizona and Texas, and they were stupid everywhere, I don't think it was limited.
Yeah. Okay. I got another Lego store story. So it was the day of the fishing store was $110. I think that was like after Christmas sometime or whatever, but it was on a really good sale of $110. So I was like, "Hey Dad, I got the cash for this. Let's just go up to whatever store is up in Wisconsin. Wauwatosa. That's the one." And then he was like, "Okay." And then so he sent me inside I was running throughout this entire mall. I was like, "Okay, where do I go?" Because I've never been in that mall before. I was like, "Okay." I look at a map and I'm like, Lego store, Lego store, Lego store. Boom! Run up the stairs. These people are looking at me like that kid's going somewhere. And there was only like 5 left. I was like, "Give me this," and I was like, "And give me that." And then I was like, "Okay, here's my wallet. Take my money. All right, I'm out.
Here's my wallet.
Take my money."
Yeah. So look at that. 4 more nights so far. Look at those extra blue pieces. Woohoo! 4 extra swords.
That's the thing, is you're going to get the extra swords and the extra plumes if you want to do that deal, Reed.
I usually have some.
I might be tempted. I definitely have to wait and see if Kevin's going to need a whole series 2.
I will.
Okay. I will start collecting, probably this next week, provided I have a super good weekend. I mean,
That would be stupendous. I still don't. I don't even know what I owe you. I owe you enough.
I think we're working on the FNB logo. I think was the.
Oh, okay. All right.
Friday Night Bricks logo.
The what?
Gotcha.
Friday Night Bricks logo.
Yeah.
You were gonna do it like in gold or not gold, something.
I was gonna do it in gold. Yes. Gold.
Gold. Because Friday Night Bricks is more valuable than gold. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I said gold.
Because it's great.
Well, gold leaf lettering would be kind of cool. I didn't plan on
Ralph.
I didn't plan on getting a football player, but I got one. So okay.
Speaking of,
I don't know what that was supposed to be, but obviously I got one wrong so far.
football players.
Oh, there's Ralph.
Oh, Mr. Copley. Looks like he's frozen though. So
He's frozen.
There's a Yeah, I apparently am frozen.
hey, while your video, just turn your video off and then keep your audio. Just if you're on the bottom there, you should be able to just stop your video and see if that'll help. That way you don't have to really, because you can still talk.
So, Kevin, do
Can
you collect every minifigure from every series? Do you collect any of the minifigures in multiples, or just a single one from each series?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have fallen victim to that whole I have them all since the beginning, so now I have to keep this charade going. Because I do. I have at least one, mostly two sets of every minifig ever from the collectible minifig series, including the Great Britain and German sets.
I'm missing the soccer.
What?
Yeah, I picked up the heads from the
A
side.
lot of series.
It's really nice. But
Yeah. So the ones that were super rare, the Germany ones and the Great Britain ones, I only have one set of each, but all the rest I have at least two sets of each.
There we go. That's what we open tonight.
I am also quite fortunate in that I also have a Mr. Gold.
Oh,
So,
I went.
how did you get a Mr. Gold?
Never came across a Mr. Gold.
Did you go on eBay and find it?
no, actually, so I traded. I traded for it. There
Who
was
traded you?
so it was actually it was co-owned by two Canadian AFLs. I don't exactly remember how, but there was
That
two.
is crazy.
And they both owned it. They're very well known in the community. It was Nick Delamora. He goes by Brick and Nick,
Yeah.
and Simon. Simon.
Mr. Do.
Crazy.
Yeah, somehow they co-owned it. I don't remember exactly how that went down, but
Who spent the $4 to get the thing?
so I
Simon has a fluid notion of ownership when it comes to Lego.
yeah, so I had to trade. They gave me a wish list of rare minifigs they wanted, which were mostly like promotional figs, like in polybags and stuff. And I was able to get it to them. I think it took me about 15 figs to equal the Mr. Gold.
Wow. But it's
Yeah, I think Simon started that piece trade at Brickworld that one year where they went from like a 1x1 plate up to a $300 set. Eventually, it went to the.
You need to do that again. That was pretty good.
But yeah, so I collect the figures that I want, and I'll build. So I don't need to have all the figures in the set. Luckily, I didn't fall prey to that. But I like this recent set, but it doesn't have any army builders I'm in love with. So
I have come to terms with that, like, more healthy thinking with almost the entire rest of my collection. But for some reason that the collectible minifig series and the modular buildings are still like, I gotta get them all. I gotta get every single one every single time.
boom.
So I have a bunch of these figs. I think I have a bunch, but this is what I also got at the last meeting here. Is I made sure Michael went to the UK, so I made sure I got these guys.
And you got Krager from me.
Yeah, I got Krager from you, but I also got the. So I got these two.
What's that? The London dude. Lester.
Just the Hamleys fig.
Hamleys and then the Lester, right?
Lester, yeah. Well, I had to get a Lester since my Lester truly isn't as great as a normal Lester that I already had.
Unfortunately, the Lesters are like useless or worthless now.
What? I need to get a Lester.
I mean, they're not totally worthless. You can still, but now that they just sell them as a polybag in the London store, if you have any and you're trying to like make money off it, they don't usually go for more than $10.
Well, the funny thing is that means my Lester then technically now is actually more valuable than the ones that people got in the stores because mine doesn't. Mine came without the backing now, so mine technically should be more valuable than it was when I got it.
Well, and I think the other, I don't remember, but I think, was yours one of the ones that was printed on, or was it digital printed or pad printed?
For what do you mean?
Like what figure? Like what was the printing quality of the one you got?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look. It's in the safe.
So I mean, Lego made 10 promotional, quick like UV digital printed Lesters for doing like social media promotion for the upcoming store.
Yeah.
So there was about 10 of them that were digital printed. You can tell because the ink is slightly raised, kind of like the custom printing that you see on minifigs.
Really?
But those are official. It's official Lego. But they had to do a quick run of like 10 of them to seed out to people to do social media photographs. And then they did the pad printing of like the first 100 or whatever.
I'll be right back.
Gonna go check in real time.
Off to the bat save.
So I have like both. I have one of the pad printed ones and I have one of the digital printed ones. But the thing is now that the pad printed ones are so common, the digital ones are mostly worthless because people think they're fake. Let's see. Kevin, do you keep them together or put them in your minifig bin? So the rare figs, my collection of rares, which is not many, like 20, those are kept in a special case, assembled.
I'll go grab my rare figures. Speaking of, on those.
The mash hiatus here.
Everybody's running.
Joker's been taken out of here because I'm using them for something. But these are all my rare figs.
So many figs, so little time.
Well, I need to get like 2 more of these things because of how much more I'm gonna eventually have. Got the original Harley Quinn, which is my personal favorite figure.
He even comes with a nice special dented holder, you know.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, that plexi is just completely worthless at this point.
Put it at the bottom now, so it's my table. Kind of like that.
Sorry, Reed. They hosed you on that one.
That's okay.
My dog.
But see, he doesn't have the backing, so it's even more valuable than the ones I got in the store since he's actually more rare because there's probably not very many that don't have the backing.
I don't think there's a single one that does. So
Thanks for having me on here.
I get your perception of it being more valuable, but what's more likely is that nobody will be interested thinking it's a fake.
That's okay. But that's okay. I still have him. Obviously, but I still get the claim to fame as, had it not been for Reed at the Colorado store and finding all the bowler hats, this poor guy wouldn't exist at all. So.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
So yeah, I want to go with my other knights.
And now that shall be one of Reed's many tales of woe.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for my chance at the my Lego story.
Hey, you don't have to wait for forever sorting. You can start your own.
I might have to. Start. So yeah, so I've got a bunch of these already. So I mean, I don't know what happened to all my knights though. I know I put all the extra knight pieces in here, so I must have a fair amount of them. So must already have maybe 5 already. So probably I'm up to about 11, if my math is correct. I don't know where they went to.
Hey, Reed.
Math is not true or false, Reed. Math is incorrect.
Huh?
Math is not true or false. Math is correct or incorrect.
What? Yeah.
How are you doing tonight, Reed?
I'm here. I'm okay. I finished my list for tomorrow, so I mean, I'm going to a flea market. I'm going to try and sell some sets, so we'll see how that goes.
Where's that market, Reed?
Huh?
Where's the flea market?
Down Mineral Point. So.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go give that a try. So we'll see. I got another 6 extra swords. I joked with the guys at the last meeting. I says, yeah, if the sword ends up on the lug bulk list, that might be my guaranteed pick. Is that it'll be something that'll all my ice bears can do the old Count Dooku decapitation of all their enemies on the battlefield. So
Uh-oh, pulling a Dooku.
yeah, I'll have to go hunt for some for you, Calvin.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I do have a couple extra flamingos though, so I might have to, Mr. Wagner. I'll have to maybe.
Oh, I'd be interested in those too.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I just don't know what I do with my knights. I know I had them. I freaking thought I took them to the meeting, but they're missing in action. Okay. They aren't going to go too far unless Chester ate them, and then I don't know where they'll end up at that point. So.
Yeah, I think I've done 4 different castle minifig parts on Mugbook before. One of which was the kind of longsword. This is like a tenth of what I've got. That longsword that came out with the Lord of the Rings sets.
Yeah.
And then I know I did like one of the full armors, one of the helmets.
We drafted the
Colorado.
we drafted the solo speeder at the last meeting. So I got some weapons.
Yeah, these armors.
Well, maybe I only had 3. Okay, 4. So I'm at 10 knights. So that's the bats though too. So they just need to have some of the bats from the monster series they can worship, right?
You could also have your guys use normal looking swords or armor because I buy some of those too.
I like the ice stuff, the ice swords, the ice stuff. Oh, I keep doing that. So yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of the ice,
icy dark pearl gray. That's a nice icy color, right?
Yeah. So yeah, so the minifigs, the collection has begun. So Series 19, I'm probably missing a few then at this point. I think I'm missing. There's my check sheet here. Since I got the soccer player. I'm missing the pizza, the Egyptian mummy, which I found a bunch, and the fireman and the monkey. So I'm missing 4. But I mean, I've come across a bunch of those in the process of finding what I needed to. I mean, it's not like I haven't seen them. I've felt them all over the place. Been feeling figs, baby. Feeling figs.
You said feeling figs.
Yeah, lots of figs.
Go figure.
I'll be thinking about that. I'm gonna definitely be looking to see. I'd be interested to see how many they target, because the targets around me I've not seen them there, because the one had tons of Disney figs. So if I have a good weekend, I will grab the rest of my Disney ones I need. So
Target's been about 2 weeks to a month behind on the CMFs. They'll get some in, a few, but a month or later after release is typically when I'll go in and get the rest of the ones I need, because they'll finally have them in stock. Toys R Us was the real consistent store that had them. Like this last series, I had to go to Kohl's to get them, which I don't think of Kohl's as a toy store, but an unopened box there.
Dude, yeah, the regular collectible minifigs, I do just throw them in the bin with all the other figs after I get them.
Wow. So your two of each are in that bin?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're 2 of each in what bin? Just your CMF bin?
No, I just put them with all the other figs.
His minifigure bin.
I don't separate them out. I just need to have them in general.
Which I've already mentioned my thoughts about already, so I won't say.
Hey, don't let anyone tell you how to enjoy your life.
Now, Mr. Wagner, so long as he's not, being a, chainsaw massacre person with him, I guess he's okay. If he's doing that,
That's
then
fine. But like for my hair, I have it all split out by different types and what belongs where. So I break it all out so I can easily find the ones that I want.
Yeah, no, there's I can definitely go through my system and adjust it. Especially now that I draw so much Lego, I could already envision a better system to help me quickly find stuff I need for reference material.
But it's really what works for you, because I mean, everyone's system is not perfect. There's things
Exactly.
other people would find appalling.
Yeah, when I finally move next year, and I'm settled in my new location, I'll reevaluate everything.
So Ralph, what are you working on tonight?
I'm pulling apart, or I'm putting together collectible figs, actually, from the latest series.
Oh, that's the theme of the day.
Yeah, that is the theme of the day.
Nothing wrong with that theme.
So
I got very lucky to find a whole unopened box of them, and I brought them home. So
The whole
The
box.
whole box? You buy the whole box?
yep, I took the whole box.
Boom. There it is. Like a champ.
What can I say? I'm greedy.
boom, there's my bot.
Moto, are you talking? Because I think you might be a little digitized.
It's not me.
Okay. This might be.
I'm working on the CAD model that destroy all CAD models here.
Is that car we heard rumors of that came apart?
Yeah,
Oh.
this is the front grille of it.
Not the spaceship that came apart.
No, that thing's back together. Yeah, that thing just ripped apart a while ago during the winter.
It's like when I
But yeah,
built-
I've got this is a front bumper of the car. I don't know if you can see the chrome is actually angled and pivoted and twisted. Using a bunch of snot bricks and headlamps on top. And then I use a robot arm to grab a grill two grills I cut in half and then re-glued back together.
Nice.
Let's put this on the model and see what happens. Take that out.
Mhm.
Oops.
So get your blanket.
So, of the collectible minifigure series, which is your favorite?
Yeah, baby.
For who?
Everyone.
Oh man. I don't know if I have a favorite series. Whole series. I don't know.
Series 10 is my favorite by far.
Did you ever had the bear night? I think would probably be in terms of the one.
That one was a decent one.
Yeah, I mean, basically in terms of the figs, I mean, it's basically, I mean, I probably have a set of everything, but I mean, I bought so many duplicates of certain ones thinking it would be great. And then what happens is they, like the pop star, I bought it for the Chihuahua, and then they put the Chihuahua out on frickin' BAM. And I'm just like, oh, are you kidding me?
Oh, poor Reed.
That's okay.
I did the same thing with the seagull from Series 10, and then they put it on the wall, and I bought 20 more. Because I picked up 10 of the sea captains just for the seagulls. Again, Series 10.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is there's always at least neat figs in each series, so it makes it nice for collect where you can
Except
maybe
the Simpsons.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they had parts within the figs that were cool. So
No.
some.
No.
I hated the Simpsons. I love the Simpsons, but I don't build with the Simpsons, so the minifigures were useless.
Well, yeah, I mean, I bought them for like some of the extra parts, and just for the fact that I was collecting every series, I bought them for that. I mean, they're part of the massive fig somewhere. I think I got a couple boxes. It'll be, like I said, this new place should be really entertaining once I get in there and get a chance to really start doing some serious organization. I mean, that's kind of the goal. It's got some shelves that are already pre-built, which would be nice for moving. So it's all because everything had to get open because of my moisture issues. So all my U-Haul boxes got open. So it's not like I'm throwing U-Haul boxes in my van and moving. I'll be throwing sets, stacking them in the van and taking them or putting them in different boxes. But it's kind of things where it's not going to be super entertaining, but there's already shelves in the new place. So I get over there, I can just move them to the new shelves and go at it. I might have to dust them though, unless the guy gets that done when he leaves the current.
I'm sorry about your moisture issues, Reed.
Huh?
I'm
Reed,
sorry about your moisture issues.
Reed said he had moisture issues.
Well, it's kind of, I mean, if you want to know how an immigrant is treated, just go rent a storage unit. They're treated about the same as an immigrant these days.
Storage unit or the person that rents it
The storage unit.
is treated the same as an immigrant?
He did.
I feel like a secondhand citizen in my storage unit. So.
Oh, you within the storage unit?
No, I just feel like that's kind of how storage units are treated, I guess. So.
Storage unit? What?
Well, I mean, put it this way, that it was a brand new storage unit, brand spanking new. And they're like, oh, yeah. And they said, well, not ready yet. We got to make sure
So
everything
a baby storage unit, you would say.
We gotta fight for storage unit rights.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just was one of those things where it was interesting because they said it was able to be moved in yet. We got all that moisture we got. And yeah, no, I mean, when there's dirt on the floor, it has to come from somewhere.
Was
it doesn't, you mean, I mean, if you've
was
got
it
dirt,
really a storage unit, or was it like a farm? Was it a barn?
it's an actual enclosed storage unit.
Was it a
That has-
cardboard box, Reed?
2 normal doors at the 2 entry points, and then overhead doors on the inside to get into your units. But literally, walked through the hallways and into the units, there was dirt, like as if the water flowed through the unit like a nice river. So,
Well, that's good drainage for you.
it's one of those things where when you put metal on concrete, I mean, and you put ground level at the edge of that, well, when it pours and it's forceful rain, the water's going to take the path of least resistance. And if it's got a crack between the floor and the metal, it's going to go that way. It was entertaining.
This is great.
This conversation has been pretty entertaining, Reed.
This is amazing.
We should immigrate away from this, though.
We should immigrate away from
Oh, you guys are bad. You guys are terrible. Picking on me.
You were the one that used the.
I did start it. Don't go there. I started it.
It was a very unusual analogy.
I had to pick something. That was, part of the everyday life these days. So I picked-
Topical.
Yeah, something that could be topical and basically political at the same time, I guess, too, if you really wanted to go there, but we really didn't want to go there, but I did.
Hey, speaking of topical, today was the Area 51 raid.
Oh, how'd that go? Did they win?
Did they win? I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that I watched something on the news this morning, like around 8, and they had some, people out there that were like reporters that were on the scene as they were setting up stuff. Like the town had this very rinky-dink makeshift like stage that was made out of like hay bales and twine. It's like, oh boy. Like the closest town is Rachel, Nevada, and with a population of 54.
Yeah, I'll bet you that was featured on that. What's that one movie about the alien that gets away from Roswell? The guy from Hot Fuzz and the zombie movie.
Simon Pegg and
Yes.
that other guy.
Whatever that movie was, I don't remember. But anyways, Sorry, off topic.
It's okay. Hey, you know what, Mr. Wagner? It can't be any worse than the tangents we see on Forever Sorting every week. So, hey, you know.
Hey now, shots fired.
Yes, let's stay nice and linear and remain on our storage shed immigration conversation.
Let's stay nice and linear.
So back to drainage for storage sheds.
Yeah, I liked my shots fired. What can I say? I'm gonna take them when you open it up and let me load my own rifle and shoot it. I'm gonna take the opportunity.
Reed's gonna take that shot every day.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it because you never know when you'll get the next chance to get your gun off, I guess.
Oh, so you know what, Reed? We're down to our last bag of popcorn that you mailed us.
Well,
I am a huge fan of the size that you picked this time. Like those smaller bags were like perfect. The giant, like the jumbo bags, I definitely hated myself after I ate that bag.
so those are the ones to send if I know I want you to feel guilty
Well,
while you're designing my new logo. Is that what you're saying?
but I was very surprised about the, what is it, caramel cheese?
The overload, yeah.
Because that sounds, I mean, I'll be honest, that sounds disgusting. What is that? It's like cheese and caramel together?
Yeah.
And I was surprised. It actually doesn't taste bad at all, but it's still a weird combination.
That was the one that you remember your wife ate the whole bag, remember?
Oh, I'm aware.
Kind of like storage sheds and immigration.
It's kind of like that.
Oh my God. Never gonna live that down, I can tell.
But I had the smaller bag of that, and it wasn't as bad as I was fearing it was going to be.
No, yeah, I mean that's actually I think the best of them, but yeah, I mean, well, trust me, I will make sure when I get the next shipment of figs. Now, are you gonna need 2 sets of these new ones too?
Ideally, yes, but it's all right if it's only one.
That's fine. I'll keep looking. That's fine.
You're an expert feeler.
Yeah, I made one mistake in like 30 or 40 figs, so.
I'm interested to hear how this barter system of collectible minifigures and popcorn works. Come to Reed. To Kevin.
Well, it's actually collectible minifigs and popcorn to Kevin, and then he's going to design the Friday Night Bricks logo.
Oh, so it's this future deliverable that you may or may not get at some point.
Hey, I always make good on my end.
Trust me, our trade system's been going on for many years, and Kevin has always, huh?
And he still doesn't have the logo done yet?
Yeah, I've given other deliverables.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This is the current on the books one.
I see.
Yeah, we've been trading for years. We trade, we each have had our talents and been in the right locations at the right time. So, hey,
You got to get in on those fruitful opportunities when they present themselves.
One of these days I'll figure out who I can trade to get into, do some espionage at the Lego headquarters and get me my personnel file.
Espionage.
What are you going to do with that?
I just want to figure out why they wanted to get rid of me so bad.
He's going to write a book.
Because what's funny is, both the people who had me gone are no longer there, and the one person had a career a third the length of mine and traveled halfway across the country for the job. It was kind of funny. But hey, stay tuned to my story to hear all the dirt, all the
what
truth.
What do you think your memoir is going to be titled?
Ice Bear.
The Ice Bear Cometh.
I'll have to think of a good name for that.
The Ice Bear.
I just did.
Forever. No, I think it's Forever Dreading Retail. Forever Dreading Retail Man.
Forever Dreading.
Forever Moping. I don't know.
Could be Brick by Brick.
Let's go.
Oh,
Tears upon bricks. I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
the ice bear cometh.
I do kind of like that. Maybe I'll write that down just in case.
I think it's literary gold, Reed.
That's a good one. Don't lose that one.
I don't know if to ask Chester. He'll have to be the one that decide on that, so.
He's got that squirrel insight.
Actually, it might be revenge of Chester. Chester could mount a nice squirrel revolt. At Lego headquarters. That could be entertaining.
Speaking of squirrels, that's one of my top 3 animals I would like to see right now.
See what?
For a Lego animal. Squirrel would be high on my list. Sheep is the other obvious one.
There's a friend squirrel.
Yeah, there's this.
I have a couple and it's not that great. It doesn't work.
It's not.
You don't like this guy?
No, I don't mind it, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't go with the skunk and the
No.
Oh.
It doesn't.
He had to be pretty small. But
I'm hoping that the deer comes out soon because that's on my top 3 as well. And if there's any indication, we should see that shortly.
That would be interesting. You mean like on Lugbook or something, maybe?
No, in a set. It just needs to come out in a set so I can buy it.
Oh, not the one that's in the Harry Potter, an actual deer.
No, that is the one, but if they have the mold for it, I'm hoping it comes out in a set as a natural.
They really need to do an animal set. They need to start doing some actual doors and windows, all that stuff again, but do an animal set.
I think it's fine the way they're spreading them out because at least it lets us buy them or get access to them.
Yeah, but it'd be pretty neat to have an actual animal pack though too.
True, but then they lose a lot of potential to sell sets because some of the jungle sets sold because of the cats that were in them. Not
that, or put it as part of the extra. Don't throw much in it. Make it spread over some different extra sets too, and then you're still buying it.
No, because then people like me are just going to buy the animal accessories and not going to waste any money on the big sets that they're releasing that are aimed more at other kids.
Well, that or they do it, kind of maybe think of doing it like Kevin does his A-Full shirts. Maybe have it a certain time after the sets, or before a set comes out or after a set or something. I don't know.
Yeah, this is how you want it, Reed. I want it to happen.
Just in terms of they still want to make money. They got to figure a way to do it, but still make it,
It's like the woolly mammoth. That came out in a 100 set, and it enabled me to get them, and that's all I want. I just want it to come out somewhere, so I
think I bought maybe 1 or 2 of that set because I got them on sale. I didn't pay full price. That's the problem. They're not gonna, I don't know. They could maybe make more money if they put it in sets that were more reasonably priced that you could actually pay full price for, rather than putting in a super expensive one that most people who really want a lot of them are just going to wait till the sets go on sale, which, I guess if Lego's already sold it, I guess they don't care. It just means their customers are losing money, but.
Yeah, but I would say a lot of people only want one of a lot of those animals, are just the collectors. So they pick up one copy of the set and they're good. People like me that need multiples or want multiples are a little more unusual. So they're not selling or designing sets that I'll buy them. They're designing sets that there's some piece, whether it's a minifigure or a certain animal or something that's in that high value set, unlike the Star Destroyer, that has some appeal to it that makes you buy the set. Looking at the Slave One, the $120 Slave One, the only reason I would buy that is for Zuckuss.
There it is.
I have 4 copies of the Slave One, but Zuckuss is what I want out of that set.
Yep.
So I don't think it. I don't mind them putting in an expensive set. I just want it to be out there so I can buy it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's the thing. It's just, to me. Well, then if nothing else, just do, maybe not even so much the really specialized ones, but like the Huskies and some of this other stuff. Just bring them out where you have maybe like the one set. They did have the helicopter. Bring them where you have more than one in a set, type thing. Because dogs are helpful to have multiples of, cats, stuff like that.
This is so you can get more access to it.
No.
I'm saying they should make it. And I agree, the goat was one of the great ones too. I managed to pick up 10 of those on Bricklink when they were out. and so, or I think 8 of them. So I'm able to utilize those in a lot of the builds that I do.
Well, then if they're going to do that, then they need to do what I've been yapping at for the last frickin' years is they need to bring farm back so you get cows and shit back. But Legos, like, they're morons. I mean, you know.
Read
right. On that
watch
note,
language.
on that note,
But, yeah, sorry.
all right, I gotta go. I'm gonna put my little one to bed. He's over here griping.
Yeah, I have to leave in just a couple minutes and do the same thing. So
How many of those did you build tonight, Kevin? How many did you get?
I got 6.
There you go.
6
Yeah.
links.
I didn't build this little one tonight, Reed. That's not how it works.
Huh?
Next Friday I will.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, because the cows, I mean, should have been back in about, what was it, 2000?
All right, I'll catch you guys later.
All
Yeah.
right, bye, Kevin.
Back
See you.
in-
Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
What did they bring back? What was it? Farming was out with construction. So when construction came back and whatever it was, like 13 or 14, technically farm should have come back with it. And then instead
That
they
sounds about right. It was because I was living in, where was I?
because 09 farm and construction came out. So when construction was coming back, I'm going, yes, farm will be the other one. And then they brought out, I don't know what it was, Arctic or something crazy. We've had
Yeah,
millions of Arctic sets. Yeah.
Yeah. And
But I mean,
that's
that's
some of
the-
those sets that I really wanted to get, but never could pull the trigger because I was busy buying Star Wars and Castle stuff. I'd like to have had some of those sets, but
See, I think part of me says, I mean, part of it too is, I mean, that's, and that'll probably come out when I get to tell my story too, is, I mean, part of it was Lego, every idea that I ever came out with, every idea from listening to every parent that came into the store, Lego made the assumption that it was for the AFLs. And yet that was farther from the truth than anything because the customers were like, well, my son wants to build a house, but you never have slopes and you never have doors, you never have windows. And so most of my inside idea stuff was for that. I mean, the only thing I think I made a suggestion was for maybe a boat propeller, that actually worked. And that was more or less maybe towards maybe the fans at that point because of the boat races in Chicago. I got hooked, but propeller boats, which technically should be faster than any paddle boat, weren't because the propellers just didn't do anything. The only way you could do a propeller boat is if you cheated and used a RC boat propeller because those were the only ones that actually had any real angle to them. So, but yeah, most of my ideas were all about the parents. The parents were saying, we want this, we want that. So I went back and with my history of Lego and being able to buy stuff early on, like the doors and windows and the slope kits. And so I was like, you know what?
oh
That
yeah,
one-
those are great when they came out.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that stuff that really they probably think failed was when they were almost bankrupt. And so all the individual train stuff and all that stuff was out back in 05, 06, 04 when they were almost ready to go belly up. So, I mean, a lot of us says, you bring that back because the parents are like, wow, 150 for a train. I'm like, yeah, it'd be great if they'd bring it back in pieces so kids could spend their allowance money and buy an engine here and a caboose.
But the train, I think the train makes sense as a larger set because they want to be a train that they can fully build. But they've
Yes.
put out some of the, like, they put out the plant pieces, the city. They've been putting out poly bags with those parts. I don't know how well they're selling because I've seen them on clearance. So I just don't know if there's as much demand for it as we might think.
I mean, the extra kits or something else on
Yeah.
clearance?
The
I
extra-
haven't seen those, but
like
to me,
the
it's
ones
one-
I've got them here somewhere.
But to me, it's one of those things where, but even then, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. Do like one train set or whatever, but why not have, or maybe let's say do one maybe cargo train and then have extra cars that you can buy to add to your train or extra passenger cars to add to your train. That way kids still have allowance money. They don't have to wait until a whole nother train comes out. I mean, you could keep adding to it. And yes, the AFLs would jump all over that, I'm sure. But for the parents, I mean, the kids can say, Johnny, look at that. They've got a new box car. You got $20. Do you want to buy the box car? Or do you want to buy the house over here? And you can use your allowance money. And you're not having to save up, months upon months of allowance to get and wait for the next train.
And see, that's the thing is like kids are different nowadays. And part of it is a lot of times you get someone in the store, they're going to buy something. So Lego's pushing them to buy things that are more expensive or whatever. But I don't know that the selling the individual parts makes sense because otherwise you're never going to sell any of the trains. So like these are what I was talking about. Yeah, the extra packs. These are out there and they have some of those parts that people are looking for, but I don't know how well they're actually selling. So
Well, but to me, it's one of those things where, I mean, but if you don't ever sell the engine separate, let's say you're just selling, try it. I mean, the thing is, with the expert line, they've got the perfect place to try it and say, even though, I mean, because the expert line technically is for adults, but try something like that over there and just see how it does. You're right. If it bombs, it can't be any worse than Prince of Persia and some of the ones that just made were the biggest bombs in history. I guarantee it. They do that stuff. It will never bomb anywhere as bad as Prince of Persia or the Lone Ranger. I mean, those were bombs. I mean, individual train cars will never bomb that bad.
As soon as they put Lone Ranger on 10%, it was gone. So
well, yeah, once it went on sale. Because
no, but 10% markdown isn't much. But either way, it doesn't make sense to me to I mean, if you're going to build a train, typically you're going to want the engine in all the cars. If they've got their allowance, that's what the small sets are for. So, but if you're building a train, not a lot of people are going to buy just the locomotive. I could see maybe building an extra car that they can buy multiple cars of, but.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you looked at the Santa Fe's, perfect example. I mean, you could still maybe start with a train like a Santa Fe, but have extra cars that maybe aren't part of the train, like an observation car or something that you'd want to buy to add to that and then see. And that's how you start and then see how it goes. And if it goes and it goes bomb gangbusters, then wow, we hit something.
They have sold individual cars in the past. They used to be train car sets in the past that they've sold years and years ago. So,
before 2005, while they were going bankrupt.
Ostriches, which is fantastic. And the figures from Prince of Persia were excellent too. So I'm very happy with Prince of Persia.
I am too, but I mean, technically by all standings, Prince of Persia, Lone Ranger were bomb.
Hey, Reed.
Yeah.
I gotta say, when a company traditionally does marketing, they don't release it. They do a study, they bring in focus groups, and if there's a market for it, then they'll go ahead and produce it. The other stuff you're mentioning isn't the failure wasn't the build or the model. The failure was that the movies bombed hard. And so when they pre-committed to the Hollywood studio to license the product, they were committed to produce so many units. And because those movies were failures, that's why the sets failed. Not that the build wasn't a great one or the designs weren't great. I mean, if you look at the construction of the Lego Movie 2 sets, they are sublime and superb. The movie failed, so they're trying to push the sets. And I'll tell you, some of the best ways to learn advanced design techniques are to put together some of these Lego 2 sets. I mean, the Indestructible, that spaceship from Sweet Mayhem, is absolutely brilliant, but they don't sell because nobody watched the movie. And I think it's unfair to correlate a failed movie with a different approach of modular sets or this or that. These guys, I have to imagine their marketing department is doing a lot of case study, a lot of research, and if they bring participants in and they're doing the surveys on site and there's just not enough demand, I wouldn't put a couple million of brick out there. I sure would. I sure wouldn't make the business play.
Well, the funny thing is, even with the Lone Ranger being a bomb, I never pushed the sets for the movie. I pushed the sets as Western because we hadn't seen Western since God knows what, the late 90s. So we hadn't seen it in so long. I pushed the sets as just Western. When I sold them, I said, this is Western. Don't worry about the movie part of it. Just it's Western. You've got a stagecoach. You've got cavalry. Now, obviously you can't push cavalry in Colorado because we have the Sand Creek massacres. So you can't do anything really with cavalry, but you can still try and sell it. Just don't create the massacre and you're okay. So you going to bed there, Mr. Wagner?
We're heading to bed, so.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Mr. Wagner.
Bye.
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 Good seeing you guys. Good night, Moto. Good night, Ralph.
Yeah, we'll maybe see you next week, maybe.
Online.
Yeah, Reed, I think your go-to-market was the best way to pitch it, but the best way to sell a product is to let the product be great. And trying to gloss it over gets pretty rough. At least my experience with product-driven organizations, that if the product isn't great and you have to pitch your go-to-market in a different way, it gets really rough to sell a product that's just not built to sell.
Well, the other thing too is, I mean, but see, that's the thing, and that's where the difference. What I laugh at with Lego is they whine about sales, yet they get rid of the people like myself who looked at the whole big picture. So you know what? Yeah, the movie's not doing so hot, but the sets are from a theme you haven't had in 20 years. We're going to push the fact that part of it, not so much of the movie part, and that's I think where Lego sometimes forgets is the people that are passionate about the product are going to figure out a way to push your product regardless of how the movie or whatever the background theme is. If the program's bombing, we're still going to look and say, well, you know, hey, like Chima, I mean, when it was out, wasn't doing so hot. It's great now, but it wasn't when it was out. It says, well, these are animals. These are guys that are walking on 2 feet. You know, this is kind of neat stuff. And so you push it for stuff that is other than, you know, the actual things that are out there that they're trying, that the actual company's trying to do. And that's what great salespeople do. You find the way to sell stuff regardless of what the marketing is pushing. You're still gonna, as a retail employee, you're gonna find a way to sell it because, like you said, they might be looking for something else, and you know it's one of those things where you still got to figure out what to sell. And if they're looking for you know, like Western, and you're like, well, this is as close as we have right now, and we haven't had Western in 20 years. This stuff's still pretty good. I don't know how the movie's doing. I don't think the movie's doing great, but you know, certain parts of this are really cool. And so that's kind of what made me laugh is, you know, it's just one of those things where sometimes I think a lot of that gets missed, you know, because like you said, they're assuming all I was ever doing was looking after the AFOLs, which, you know, I basically rebuilt the AFOL trust in Colorado because Kevin's old manager killed it. I mean, what I had heard, the stories I heard later, yeah, there was no way there was an AFOL that was ever going to trust her ever in the lifetime as a manager or a Lego employee ever. And so it was one of those things where they had lost their trust, and it was like, okay, I need to rebuild this. And so I worked my butt off to rebuild that trust, but I wasn't always looking out for the AFOLs. I mean, a lot of my ideas on the inside ideas were all about what I heard from parents and kids, you know. So I was like, well, you know what? You know, let me pitch that idea and let me see, you know, and that's why I pitched the idea of the trains, was because parents were like, wow, that's a lot of money to spend on a train. And well, you get everything there, but it's like, they're like, yeah, but it's a lot to drop at one time, you know, and he's only got so much money and this and that. So, but yeah, but Lego's a great product. It's just sometimes we'd like to see things that make a little bit more sense, you know, sometimes. And it's weird, you know. Just look at City.
I don't know what to tell you about trains. I see a lot of adults loving it, but trains and Westerns, those were, you know, those peaked in the 60s, just like Star Trek. And without constant revitalization, it isn't working right now, just in the popular culture of things. Things are moving digital, things are moving interactive. I mean, my son, if it wasn't for the Lego clubs, you know, Thomas the Train, great when he's young. Can't build it with Lego. He's too young for Lego. And by the time he's old enough for Lego, trains have passed him by.
Yeah. I mean,
Westerns are even harder to sell.
Yeah. I think a lot of it too, is it just depends on, I mean, and that it also depends on, I mean, I think a lot of it is, and I think that's why I think the community team still works hard at, you know, helping the adult fans is, I mean, if you look at the boxes these days, there's no real alternative builds unless it's a 3-in-1. I mean, the AFOLs are the ones that are pushing that true stimulation of like, you can do more than just build sets and put them on a shelf. This is what you can do if you take it, or maybe buy 3 of it and do it. And I mean, that's how Western will still get its kick, because there are still people that build good Western towns, like Judy Payne, who used to work at Mall of America. She comes to Brick World and she had a Western display this year, and there's always Western stuff, so it's there. I mean, and at times the pieces have been on the wall. The log pieces and stuff have been on the wall before, where you've been able to buy them to actually augment your Western stuff if you wanted to build more. And so, I mean, it's just a matter of seeing it, you know, even though it's not in the stores, the AFOLs might say, whoa, oh yeah, I haven't, you know, but you're right. I mean, it's not, the Western movies aren't big anymore either. So unless somebody does one, you're right. There's nothing that's going to get kids into Western unless they just for some reason see something that drives that market, you know. But I mean, but perfect example is, I mean, you know, what's funny is we're having the main part of the news right now is the farmers are hurting. The farmers are hurting, yet what's funny is, wouldn't this be an awesome time? You know, granted, they're building stuff years in advance, but it'd been so great if they had like farm sets just sitting somewhere on a shelf going, okay, well, yeah, wait for the perfect time. You know, right now we're in that trade war and the farmers are hurting. Is just launch Lego sets and go, hey, kids, save the farmers, you know, here, build some farms, help save the farming in the U.S. I mean, you know, ironic as it sounds, it might not work, but it'd be kind of funny, you know, humorous marketing.
I'm willing to bet they'd go with the castle set before any of the Westerns.
Well, not Western, I meant farming, city farming. I mean, Castle, yeah, Castle should come back. I mean, I don't know how Nexo did, but I think sometimes they think they work. I mean, and you'll hear that from everybody here in the community is I think sometimes they're working a little too hard on the storylines. Ninjago was highly successful, but if you see some of the other ones, they've kind of been mediocre. Chima, I mean, and Nexo, I think some of its stuff was cool, but I mean, sometimes I think they push some of it too hard. And I think that's sometimes where it kind of, I mean, sometimes just the city still sells, but I think they need to mix it up more. I mean, they've got so many parts of the city they can do, but we've seen Arctic, you know, every couple of years over the years, but farming's been gone for at least 10. I mean, and farming is a huge thing. I mean, without farms, you can't survive. I mean, there's just not enough food. I mean, we'll be 600-pound freaking gnomes with not being able to move if we ate everything that was non-healthy, but it's one of those things where it'd be kind of cool to see farming come back. And that's what I always laughed at was in the comments on the other channels. I always would say, yeah, you know, it'd be great to bring some, you know, nutritional food back. All my minifigs are obese because all they eat is pizza and ice cream and, you know, all this stuff that's bad for them. I mean, granted, they brought carrots back to the wall, but, you know, often you can eat carrots without getting sick of carrots, you know.
All I know is that, you know, I think Technic's got if you want ag, Technic, like a modern GPS combine.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Trimble?
No. What's Trimble?
Trimble's a company out here in Colorado. One of the things they integrate technology into industrial situations, but one of the things they can do is working with Caterpillar and some of these other companies, John Deere. A modern combine, you drive the field once, it'll scan the ground, and it will put the seed in the same place year after year after year with no driver. And we're talking millimeters of precision. You can put a combine out there, and it will scan the ground, and every time an image recognizes a weed, it'll shoot a little bit of, stuff on that plant to kill it. I mean, the efficiency now and the high technology of it is that one farmer with a modern combine can do more than ever was before. And that's what we're facing is the technology is driving so much of the production that it's almost hard to wrap your head around. Like vineyards in California, they want the plants to be stressed, but they don't want them to die. So they use satellite imaging to look at the temperature and the stress of the plants to build out the proper watering regimen for that plant. And it goes down to the sub-acre. It is insane, the technology that goes in agribusiness right now.
Well, I joked because Lance has been posting pictures of the remodel at the Store Park Meadows, and I made the joke. I said, "Oh, so are they finally going to build the self-service brick specialist terminals? Since since they the brick specialists need to be building all the sets on the clock. Let's build some. Because what's ironic is I was in a store once where the guy, the only employee in the store was building a set. I mean, there was probably a dozen customers in there. He never got up, never helped anybody. the one lady was ready to check out. I said, I think you got to go over and ask that guy, to help you. And I thought it was funny. And it never was like that. And, my story will be good because I'll go over it all. But it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, that was where someone complained at one point about the fact that they had to build sets off the clock, on their own time. And probably what happened was, a bad employee somewhere in the country made the mistake of telling, not asking, telling an employee, you need to build this set. And it was somebody who was in class, had tons of classes, couldn't do it, and was pissed and then complained. Whereas I was a smart manager and I asked the college kids, I made sure I always asked, because it was one of those things you don't want to not ask and then have them mad at you that, oh, that was my favorite theme, I would have liked to build it. As I always say, hey, I know you're in school, but would you want to build this set? I mean, and if they said no, I said, okay, well, I figured I'd ask. It's about time where, it'd be your chance to build one. And I always asked. I asked all the time because it was like, even building off the clock, those of us that love the brand and love the product, I love to build. And I'd rather building at home where I've got my drink, I can just sit and drink and do whatever I want to do and take my phone calls and not have to be on the clock where I'm sitting at a table and I'm building. And then, yes, you want the kids to help. Then if they make mistakes, you're going to have to fix those mistakes and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where, to me, I always love building at home. But obviously, somebody didn't like it, complained. And so nowadays, they all build them in store. But I think that takes away from customer service, which, I think has been dying for a long time anyways. It's only a matter of time before shop.lego.com is the only avenue we have for Lego. It'll happen eventually. I don't know when, but I think that that path has begun. The golden age of Lego retail stores has passed. And I was there during the golden age. The golden age is gone, and I'll discuss that probably in my story too, at some point too, because I truly think it's gone already at this point. So
I think for large urban centers, it'll stay alive just because Lego brand can bring it in. I know at the mall near me, the Colorado Mills, they've changed the interior signage of the major way markers to point to the Lego store. So it's up there in recognition with the anchor stores, Macy's, Target, the other major stores. They actually use it as a waypoint now for people to navigate, simply because it's always bustling, it's always busy. I think it has to do with kind of population centers and maybe, more research on disposable income. Colorado happens to be doing really well right now in the labor market. People are still moving here, and we can support two stores. That still blows my mind. Coming from Kansas City to Denver, Colorado, it's really nuts how different urban cities can drive different retail environments. But I think you're right. If you have a large metropolitan area, you can support it. That's great. But otherwise, it's not going to make it.
Well, Colorado also has Douglas is the 8th richest county in the country. At least it was when I was working there. So there's lots of money they're driving that. Colorado Mills, the rent's probably cheap enough where they can have the big store. And with the big store comes a little bit, it's definitely nicer. I've always enjoyed shopping. Even when I worked at Park Meadows, then going over to the Mills and shopping once they had the new store. I'd rather shop over there than shop at my own store. Especially once I got let go. I hardly went to my store at all. I'd go in a couple times, but it wasn't something I was really, the other store was much more enjoyable because it was just much bigger. But in the end, it was one of those things. Plus, I probably really didn't want to be in my store. I still loved the employees that were there, but it just really didn't need to show support and homage to my own store. After what they did, but it was one of those things where, and that's why I went to the other store. It was just better. But in the end, I think it's almost to the point where you almost kind of feel like it might get to the back where it goes backwards in things where it's maybe back like the early years where they start closing stores again in certain areas, or they won't open anymore. Because obviously I think where they're at now, they definitely have a lot of stores, And obviously those areas will support them, but chances are, like my dream of having one in Madison will probably never happen. It's an hour from Milwaukee. I mean, and I don't know if there's a mall good enough, because people said, oh, it'll go in the outdoor ones. No, Lego doesn't want to be in those new malls they're building, the outdoorsy ones. They want to be in a mall. I mean, they're just, it's just the way they are. I mean, and it's one of those things where you just don't want to be in the outdoor ones. I mean, they're just, because it's, then it's still a destination. Then you'd have to have something about that store or that area that drives them there. Whereas in a mall, they could still maybe not be going to the Lego store, but if they're going somewhere else and they walk by it, they're going to go in, and that's why Lego stores, they drive a lot of the business. And the Mills is one of those places that, even Park Meadows. I mean, we moved in there. What was the only children's store in there was, gosh, what was it? I mean, even Disney wasn't in there. When Lego came in, the kids stores came back to Park Meadows, because they had been there, but they'd been gone for so long that when I think Lego came back, the kids market was revitalized at Park Meadows. So, I mean, Lego's one of those stores that can revitalize places that you wouldn't think could be maybe revitalized, because, I mean, because of the demand and because of all the stuff that's out there. I mean, look, my shirt, Brickworld. I mean, without some of these huge conventions, I mean, that's what really helps Lego a lot, is because, the fans really, I mean, look at our collections. I mean, most of us that have really just, fallen head over heels over the brand, and I mean, and have just given away way too much money to the product. I mean, have just stupid, crazy collections. And for me, I'm going to try and liquidate the sets, because the sets are great, but I'm more about the pieces now, because I'm more about the mocks. I think when I first started, I wanted the sets because it had certain pieces, so it helped me build mocks. And now it's all about the pieces that I can get, because now Bricklink is probably 10 times bigger and huge and more versatile than it was early on. I mean, because now there's so many more resellers and there's so much more brick now. I mean, you can, rather than buying a set for one, 3 or 4 pieces, you can go to Bricklink and get a couple thousand, because there's someone out there that's been smart enough to realize, I can part this set out. I know every one of these pieces is going to go to some builder somewhere who's working on something. and that way, because Lego might not have that piece yet in their Pick-a-Brick, and might never have it in their Pick-a-Brick. I mean, definitely in the early years, that's the way it was. So, but yeah. Such inconsistency in different areas. I was in Concord, North Carolina, and that Lego store was simply amazing. The best brick wall I've been at 2 years. Well, that's how it used to be. Now, granted, they're kind of getting to that again, and who knows why. But I mean, I've been talking about it for years. I mean, when I worked at Lego, our wall at Park Meadows was probably one of the best, in the top 5 in the country, because you had me, a brick hound. I mean, and I really knew what people wanted. I mean, and I talked to customers. I'm like, well, I'm working on this. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get that. I mean, obviously I couldn't promise them, tons of stuff, and they couldn't buy it by the case, but it was one of those things where, let me look and see what I can do. Let me look and see what's out there. I mean, and so I brought stuff in. I knew that would sell at the wall. It would definitely be unique. It'd be cool. And at the time, yes, I made sure when I was managing Pick-a-Brick that I made sure there were 1x2 clear plates on the wall, so I could keep buying mine. And the one thing that's funny is people think that I just bought these. I says, no, if I bought them, it was on the wall. I wasn't buying it. I wasn't bringing them in just for me. It was bringing in enough so that I could get what I wanted, plus have enough to fill the wall. So it's kind of, I mean, it's interesting. The product is great. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I love it. There's just certain aspects I think would be kind of cool to try. I mean, somehow figure out a way to try it to see how it does, because probably the last time it was out there, the market for Lego was 1/10 the size as it is now. And so you figure, go look at the numbers. I mean, 10 times bigger, would it be something that would maybe in your mind be successful? If it is, it might be worth at least taking a look at it, because the market is that much bigger. I mean, I don't know, is there 80 stores in North America? And I think when I started, there was maybe 15 or 20, something like that. I'd have to go look. There weren't a lot. So. Brick After Brick Toys is having fun. So, yeah. Well, I mean, in each wall, I mean, in each store is different. Now they kind of order the brick. Now they can get on the system where corporate sends them the brick, but I don't know if there's anybody at corporate that's truly good with the bricks to where they could do it. It's been years where, I mean, there's been a couple good people. I know he's a lawyer now. Jamie Middleton was freaking awesome when he was kind of managing the pick a brick at the corporate office. I mean, awesome. Knew all the stuff, knew what was out there. I mean, it was very, I mean, I met him too, and it was great. I mean, he was one of the legends of that pick a brick system at corporate. I mean, and you know, I mean, I don't think they have that anymore. And pick a brick never was, I think, as they said, really profitable. So I mean, I don't think they really wanted to put a lot into it. I mean, so it was one of those things where, I mean, that's why they try all this other stuff. I mean, which is great, but I mean, in my store and half the stores I know of, people are building if you have employees that are creative, I mean, they're going to be building stuff. I mean, you really don't even have to really have a set. They're going to have built something like, oh, well, this is one of our cars that we really like to build around here. We're like, well, that looks different than the one that's on the wall. I said, well, you know, we have a lot more time to tweak it. You know, we're here 8 hours a day. We're gonna tweak maybe that design and make it that much better, you know. So yeah, just so you know, Bluegrass, if you pick that up within the last year, technically that's actually the 101 Store America set, because technically they already did a 100 store event, I think a couple years ago, before they got rid of all those people. You know, Kevin can tell you that story, because I think he said it a couple times on the stream where, yeah, they did that 100th store rollout set again, but didn't realize that they had already done that once before. So yeah, it's actually technically the 101st. So, but hey, you know, but, and that for those of us that work for Lego, we get a chuckle out of that. You know, those of us that no longer work for Lego, that did work for Lego, that's the stuff that makes us laugh hysterically. You know, almost to the point where we're rolling off our chairs and falling on the floor, shedding tears, go, oh my God. So Moto, is that now the car, what happened? Did you ship it somewhere or what happened with that? I don't think I read the whole story on that.
Yeah, so the deal was someone volunteered to build a studio model and an LDD file of the car for free if I shipped it to him. So I shipped it to him. He said, what I'm doing is tonight I'm going through and rejiggering a lot of, well, it's shattered. So he wasn't able to put it together the way it was originally, which is why there's some mistakes in the file. Other parts of it are the colors are off, or certain pieces are not quite accurate, but I'm going through and making sure everything, I have the model in front of me, I'm staring and comparing to make sure it's accurate. But yeah, when it came back, it was just blown into pieces, and it took maybe, I think, an hour to get it all back together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so are you basically rebuilding the LDE so you can ship him the car again, and so he has it? Or
no. No. I'm going through and making sure it's just extremely accurate to the model itself.
Now, was that something that somebody wanted, that car, or was it?
Oh yeah. So the reason I'm doing this one in LDD is it's the last season of the show Supernatural, and this is the car from the show Supernatural. It's in season 15.
Okay.
The Supernatural fans are pretty hardcore, and I figured if I get an LDD file out there or a studio file out there, or I do instructions, people are going to want to at least look at what went into this thing, because it's got so many legal techniques or just crazy stuff where, oh, here's one example. So in the door, I'm using a rod jammed through these two pieces. Where normally the door faces outward for the slopes. But there's this little guy, which is facing the wrong way, a reverse way, so that a skate can be the door handle. A fixed skate as a door handle I thought was perfect. In order to achieve that, I had to flip the orientation of the plates backwards in 180 degrees and then put a brick through it. And I'm doing that by, I took pliers and I took a 4 bar and cut it in half.
Mhm.
That's just one example of some wicked stuff that's going on in this thing.
Well, I was
And
going
then
to say,
also,
yeah, and that's what, like Mariana said too. I mean, that's what, all great builders, if they really want to build something, sometimes you have to be willing to do stuff that most people never would do. And it's possible that in the end, that part could end up being created. You never know. I mean, it's something where if somebody sees something like, wow, that, and then tries other applications, you never know. Perfect example is, I mean, depending on how well that tile might not have very many possibilities, but that front one. So did you basically just cut it and then glue it at an angle so it had the angle for the front part of that grill? Is that what happened? You cut it in half and then just kind of glue it at an angle so you'd have the
this piece right, this,
the grill, the front one, the center section.
yeah,
That was the one you said
I
you
can show it
cut.
to you, yeah.
Yeah, so you cut and then
I
glued
took
it.
2, well, I had to take 2 of them because of the width.
Oh,
And
okay.
what sucks, this is an actual chrome piece.
Oh.
So it wasn't cheap, but
No, it wouldn't have been.
yeah, what I did is I cut it beyond the length of it. And then I used I have this high-speed fine sanding wheel and figured out the angle, marked it down with marker. And then from above, I basically ground it down, finally sanded it, and then craggled it. And then, yeah, there's a robot arm that's jammed between 2 studs. Well, that's dense. Yeah, let me get the independent version. I'm making separate files for each chunk, just so
Well,
I
that's
can
fine.
edit them and
I
have
mean,
them.
it's good to see. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's good to hear the story too, because obviously I think I heard about it, but I really wasn't sure of the whole story. So it kept.
Here we go.
Ralph, what are you working
Take
on
a look
there?
at that.
Oh, that's
There we
nice.
go. Robot arm, and then the robot arm grabs the middle of the grill.
Yeah,
Robot
yeah.
arm between 2 studs, weed it through. And then some of the stuff like,
So is it just wedged between those 2 studs then, basically?
yeah, see that?
And
And
It's
these
just
are
wet.
headlamp bricks.
Yeah.
Headlamp bricks, mid-center cheat, jumper stud, mid-center cheat going right, allows you to perfectly angle that bad boy right up against this brick and that brick.
Well, yeah. I mean, so long as the headlight brick isn't rubbing against anything on the back, that's a perfect thing that works. I mean, it's one of those things. Or if it's on top of a tile, if the next thing behind that, the brick that's the part of the headlight brick that's ajar. Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
This is underneath now.
Yeah.
This is not a headlight brick. That's a stud. That's a snot
Oh,
brick.
brick with a stud. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I
don't-
meant. So, yes. Yeah. Oh, okay.
And once again, if you're very, very careful, you can angle that to get the perfect angled chrome bumper that matches the exact or close enough angle to
Yeah.
these plates.
Yeah. So,
So
I mean, I think a lot of it is when you build stuff. I mean, a lot of people think of square, and then so long as they'd probably be worried about the bricks, the 1x1 bricks with studs is worried about like the backside because it's at an angle. Be worried about what's it going to hit, I mean, but if you have it where there's maybe a gap or something back there, in the engine compartment, you wouldn't have to worry about it, and that's kind of, I think that's where a good design comes in, and that's where you have to that's where you see something that someone else might be like, well, crap, I didn't think of that, and that's, because a lot of it is, I guess when you think of it, you all want it to be kind of, I don't know, I guess I think of it like Lego space, the spaceships always had the cracks in it. I'm like, well, great. If they're in
Yep.
space, you take the air tank off, they're going to die in space. So a lot of my old spaceships when I was a kid were all, cosmetically built. So there was no gaps. So even though the spaceships had the little indentation plate, and then it was, but you had like air, it felt like air would come up into the ship. I built it so, my brain would say, okay, well, there's no there's no cracks in the spaceship, you know, is what I thought of. It's kind of funny, but yeah.
I hear you.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on like that.
the nice thing is stuff like that's even cool just to even, like you said, take to, you know, some of the, you know, even the conventions, you know, because obviously it's one of those things where I think even didn't Brian even say, I think Bonahum say the one time that he was like, you know, he's seen stuff over the years, but he never asked. He just, you know, kind of, somebody might be using some kind of a, what do you say it, like a competitor's brick that, you know, to make what they could do work. And so it's one of those things where I think in the end, I mean, sometimes you wouldn't know unless you just know that Lego's never done that part. But in the end, if it looks cool, sometimes it's hard to say anything, you know, because I've seen that over the years. You just kind of go, well, I don't know if these pieces are truly Lego, but I guess, you know, hey, so long as it looks cool and it doesn't look really bad and it doesn't look really weird, you know, most people that are going to the show won't notice. The only ones that are going to notice are the true AFOL that's, you know, probably on that cusp of, on the ledge of being a purist, but yet I'm kind of on that cusp. But I mean, I still like to use all the like the chrome swords from Crazy Bricks and some of that, you know, some of the cool things that don't exist, like the Munchkin boards on tiles and stuff like that. So there's always that stuff that, you know, add to it. And that's kind of what you look like, the smartphones, you know, Iceberg on a smartphone showing everybody while he's sitting on the porta potty, hey, look what's, you know, hot on the social media today, you know. So
Yeah, I haven't done any non-Lego cheats yet. Not yet. But I always like to throw a super vintage part in.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. These are supposed to be police headlights that come out of the side.
Okay.
They haven't made these. These are chrome. They haven't made those little suckers in such a long time, but I've got some robot arms going off the main A-pillar.
Yeah, I mean, and that thing is, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, works, and you just have to, you know, you figure it out. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, what I'm hoping this new place is going to reteach me how to really start building again and re-grasping some of the techniques that, because of my confined space and everything, and really kind of not really building as much as I should, and kind of concentrating on the castles. Hopefully some of those techniques might come back. I mean, I might never have had them, but it'd be nice to try and see if I can figure out how to do them, you know.
Oh, man.
So. Ralph looks like he's having fun.
Yeah, I've moved off of the collectible figures and I've gone back to my Crocagator camp.
Oh, yeah. What's the size up to now?
I decided I did not like the entrance, so it got rebuilt, but the size hasn't changed any.
Cool. Yeah, I picked up, like Brick Freak said, I picked up like
eventually fill 80 inches.
80 inches square?
Currently 60 by 80, but it could get to 80 by 80.
60 is probably a good width to stay with. You probably don't want to go deeper than that because usually 60 is about 2 tables. 80 starts to make it a little bit crazy. So
yeah, the 60 is definitely 2 tables.
So I mean, for me, I mean that's kind of been a good thing. Is like, you know, at 60, it kind of is nice. If you get wider than that, you're almost going to have to go to like 90 or 80. It'll be kind of a weird thing. Oh, you've got a spectator behind you.
Yeah, that'd be the spouse.
Sorry.
No, she's fine. Are the dogs behaving while you're building?
Well, yes and no. I don't know what they're doing, so I'm going to assume that they're misbehaving.
That's probably a smart assumption. Unless they're sleeping.
It is with those two. No, they're definitely not sleeping.
So, Yeah, I mean, like I was telling Kevin earlier, the Hope Castle, I think, is going to go through a revision. I think I'm going to have it destroyed by lava and build something of a smaller footprint, I think, at some point, I think. Or at least the castle at a smaller footprint, maybe still.
I actually, well, I plan to have a volcano in the swamp, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I got lots of orange brick. I've been accumulating it over time. So I got like I picked up a bunch of 8x8 orange plates years ago at one of the shows. And I also have a bunch of the Magma Monster 8x8 base plates that I can probably work into something too. So, and lots of trans orange plates and stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of the goal is, I mean, if I could destroy it with lava, then they have a reason to move to something else. Kind of like it's always been getting kind of bigger and bigger. Maybe something needs to take it down a notch and
yeah, maybe.
So yeah, kind of, the good stuff. So I mean, it's plus I need to build like a micro scale hope of some kind to be able to take if I travel to other shows that are farther away that I'm gonna fly to, or if I'm gonna work the show or whatever. So I've got something I can still maybe display, but a smaller version. Just traveling with the castle is still kind of crazy. So
Yeah, it's a little on the large size.
well, I mean, in the end, I mean, it wasn't never really meant to be that size. It was probably going to be closer to like what the one guy here, Jesse's got. I think that was the goal, is to be a smaller, more of a modular type castle, but with building the plates, it kind of killed that. It became a real tough thing to accomplish. So, but it's always a work in progress, and it's still fun to do, and we'll see. I mean, I've got ideas for other stuff too. I'm thinking of building something Western here coming up too, Western theme. One of the forts here in Wisconsin that doesn't exist anymore, but has a historical marker and stuff. So I might build that at some point. So we'll see how this new space works and sees me what I can work with. I got to get stuff organized. I got instruction manuals coming out of the wazoo, both the stuff I own and stuff that I don't. And I just get that organized too. So
I oddly don't keep instruction manuals. After I build, I generally throw them away. And if I decide that I want to keep them for any reason, I typically download the PDF file from the Lego website and keep that.
Unfortunately, I've actually been building from those a couple lately, and especially the colors are already pretty bad in the normal printed ones. The PDF ones have been much worse. And so, but because I worked at the store, we damage out, like PAL Cinemas, I'd keep the instructions because I had the cool stickers and stuff. So, I mean, I've got lots of stuff, and I just need to get it organized and, see if there's a market for any of it. Some people might want them still.
Some of it has a market.
Well, Dreamers Inc. is here. Mr. Miller's here.
Well, Mr. Miller.
And that's kind of the thing too, that's why I need to talk to my friend John, who hasn't built in a long time, is once you get to the scales of like, Jeanette's Castle, Jim's Carnival, my castle, I mean, you can only get so big. And I mean, because it takes so much time to create it and set it up, he's got an idea that he wants to build so many tables. Now, if that's for just his basement in his house, that's fine. If he's thinking he's going to build them for displaying at a show, two problems. One, I mean, if he's doing it himself, he won't be able to do it in the time frame a show will give it to him. And two, this day and age with the shows being the way they are, you won't get enough space to do anything bigger than probably what we've got. And even with Brickworld, the where it is right now, I'm pushing the envelope in terms of how big mine is at. So it's kind of one of those things where that's kind of the kicker is you don't want to get so big that you can't set it up, and you also want to later bluegrass. And that's kind of those things where it's, you know, it's just, you know, because it gets big. I mean, even this year at Brickworld, I mean, I actually even got farther behind. I did a workshop and everything else. And you want to do the social parts. And in the end, it just, if your creation's too big and you don't have any help, you're going to get to the point where you're going to be just, you're going to have too much to do. So.
True. Yeah, I am going to depart here.
Okay.
So,
Thanks, Ralph. You're welcome any week, buddy.
Yeah, I will see more.
Hopefully, probably as the weather gets bad and the camping gets more difficult, I'm guessing I'll see more of you.
Well, it's actually been, I've been working 7 days a week, so that has impeded my ability to be on.
Yeah, I saw the stuff when Steve, my friend Steve was out there. That was pretty cool. You might have to turn off your video because I think the whole thing froze unless you were actually already gone.
What was that?
I think we lost Ralph. I mean, Ralph was maybe he was talking, but with the video, with his video frozen.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, it's without video. Sometimes it smoothens some of the audio in certain people's streams. So did you have
Well,
fun?
what I was saying is,
Yeah.
what I was saying is that the tourist season is coming to an end, so my working every day of every week is going away. So you'll see me on next Friday, that's for sure.
Did Steven help break up some of that monotony when he was out there? Or did he make it worse?
A little. No, he's an interesting character. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a friend of a friend, and I've known him for years, but I haven't seen him in a long time, so it was kind of funny. So, but when he mentioned his trip, I was like, well, you know, I got a friend out in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, he stopped by. I showed him a couple of museums that were out there. Sorry about that, and he really had a good time. So that was pretty cool.
Sounds good. Well, you have a good night, and we'll catch you the next time.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Jim, that's pretty massive. 200 inches. Ooh. I mean, I'm at 100, 140, I think. I mean, that's massive for me. I think the castle, if I have the other moat, castle, town, and then maybe a couple battle sections are about 140 or so. I don't even know what I requested for the train show coming up in November, probably somewhere in that 120 range or something like that. And they're going to actually have the trains, I think, double rails going around the castle on the one side, which would be pretty cool. So it's a train show. I need good pictures like that to try to get into the one here in Madison, because the one guy, all I had was my castle pictures. Like, it's a train show. I go, we got trains. I mean, I was kind of there on my own reconnaissance, and because I like the big shows. You know me, Moto. I like going to the big train show and the hobby show because it's nice to be set up one day and have it up for 2 days, then to have to go to a small show and set it up in a couple hours and only have it up for a few hours. That's a little short for me.
That seems legit.
Yeah, I've done a lot of the small shows this year, but it's one of those things where I only take small sections. I've taken the small stuff, and recently I built, I don't know if you guys saw the other episodes, I redid the igloos where they're sitting a good 5 bricks up. So, I mean, that could be the new height of the castle, possibly going into next year. We'll see. I mean, and then that would be the last time I probably do anything that crazy of a addition to it. That'd be pretty tall. I think it's at 4 right now on the back, so I'm gonna be adding a little bit more. But yeah, train show's got to have trains. Well, the person that's currently at the train show isn't affiliated with any of the lugs, And he's got a massive layout, but 90% of his layout is sets. So there's no mocks. It's all just Lego sets, which is great. But I mean, it's great if, and obviously people can buy, try and buy some of the sets, so you got old ones. But, the Whistler group, definitely, the guys out of Milwaukee definitely have skyscrapers that are from floor to ceiling. I mean, they're freaking, 6 feet, 8 feet tall. I mean, just massive structures. And so those are the ones that really, I mean, if you can see it from across the hall, it's going to pull people. Same thing as like the castle. My castle was almost 4 feet tall, on a table. I mean, people can see it and they can see it lit up from a distance. It kind of, it grabs you to kind of come. I mean, I wouldn't mind having another tall keep at some point, but, or some kind of tower, but the keep itself is going to be tough in the current configuration to get that tall. So it takes up too many bricks. So, but yeah, train shows have to have trains. I mean, that's kind of the key. And it's always good to make sure that, anything that, is in there, if nothing else, has trains going around it, even if it's not totally train based. And that's kind of what I always tried to push, for the most part. So, and obviously the only train show I'll be doing is the one this year at Train Fest. I mean, I haven't done anything. I've done 5 or 6 shows this year, but they've been all small ones. So the biggest would have been the Bay Beach up in Green Bay, which really wasn't even a Whistler show. It was more of a K-Lug show. Wagner was one of the ones hosting it up there. I stayed with one of the other guys, but luckily, because of Brick World, I know a lot of people from both K-Lug and Whistler, and so I know most of those people from being at Brick World so long that, I mean, all these people I had seen before. It made it much nicer. Plus, that was a pretty cool show. Other than the hall being pretty much like an oven the whole show, it was pretty cool. Yeah, scalable is always good. If you can just move stuff back and forth, that's good. Current castle isn't set up like that. I mean, I could maybe try and do that in the future if I did walls or something, have it so it could be, scalable. That'd be kind of cool. From the fact that then you're right, I wouldn't have to take the whole thing, and that's kind of what I'd like to kind of get to again. The wall sections are pretty big, and it'd be nice to get to a much smaller castle wall and more of a compact. I don't know if if you were watching earlier. I'll actually show you the picture, Jim. This is one of the guys local. He actually has a pretty sweet castle. So it's this one. He won Best Medieval Building at Brick World Chicago this year. He was actually right next to me. We were supposed to be having a castle collab. It didn't really work. So it's pretty neat. His is about 3.5. So it's about 35 inches deep. And it's probably about, I think it's like maybe 80 inches wide. But that the tower on the castle is pretty tall. It might even be taller than the picture goes. So, oh, there it is. There's some of it. So it's actually he's got a pretty cool tower. So it's pretty, he's got dragons up there and stuff. It's pretty cool. So yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing is, you have that train that goes around your carnival. Plus, I think, don't they usually run another actually big loop around your stuff too? So, I mean, even though you've got yours running, I think Cowlux even had sometimes a train loop going around yours too. So you've got more, which is great. I mean, that's the goal. But yours is interactive and it's train based and it's awesome. And there's a couple guys in the Whistler group that have probably 60 by, I want to say maybe 400 or 500 inches. The one guy brought to Bay Beach, it was pretty sick. I mean, the one guy that works, John down at, he works out of the Gurney store. He's part of K-Lug. Him and he's got a big carnival. He's got a couple of big carnival rides too. He's got one that's like the revolving restaurant that goes up, and I think the tower's like 3 or 4 feet tall, and the restaurant just kind of turns and goes up and then comes back down. Pretty cool. I probably have video somewhere. I need to probably post that out there somewhere. But yeah, they like carnival too here, and so for me, I don't really need to. Thankfully, I don't need to get into that because there's guys that are like you that have. Now theirs isn't interactive, but it's just massive. I think literally, I want to say close to 400 inches or 500. I mean, it was sick. I mean, I think when he came to the Green Bay show, I think he had 3 or 4 helpers. It was insane. And as fast as he packed it up, it it was crazy. I mean, it's just it's great if it comes down quickly and you can put it away. I mean, setup is always more time for anything you do, but yeah, it's good. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's always ways to make things work, but you're right. I mean, but if you have your train, that's a train, so, I mean, if nothing else too, they could always run it behind too, if there's ability to do that, but, or if you're on one end, it doesn't matter. Then, there's nobody that needs to even come down that way, but it's always neat. I mean, I kind of miss being out there. I like the bigger shows out there, but I mean, I'm closer to Brick World. The 2-hour drive is a lot better than the 14, 16-hour drive I had before. So, I mean, that's much more awesome for me. Plus, I get 2 Brick World shows. I get the Chicago. Hey, Haley, I hear you are down in the thick of things down there in Texas. So, yeah, I mean, there's probably pictures out there. If nothing else, Jim, I'll find something. If nothing else, I'll post it. I think I've taken some videos of it too. I'll get those out there eventually. So how's Haley tonight? And hopefully everything's still going good and everything is still dry. So, yeah, I mean, the carnivals are always cool. And now that they've got all those different sets, and I'm obviously way behind because I think I'm still missing the. Now, super fun. Does that mean that there's still that chance that it could get closer and still have issues, or is it to the fact that hopefully at this point, it maybe the worst is over, or is there still a possibility of worse to come? I haven't even looked at the map lately, so I don't know what's going on for storms. Hopefully nothing in my area tomorrow. Obviously, well, they did say something about because of the game. But I hope not, because, I mean, I'll be outside. Thankfully, I got a canopy all tomorrow, so we'll see. But, yeah, I mean, carnivals are cool. And, Jim, it's great that you have that. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Definitely love the interactiveness. Ooh, there is a storm brewing over Nebraska, South Dakota. I hope that goes north of me. Wow. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like that's crazy. Well, hopefully it'll stay dry. I mean, that's when I saw it on the news, that's who I was thinking of. I'll have to make sure when Kevin decides to move back to Texas, he picks something more high and dry too. So we don't have to doesn't have an army come flying in to have to move all this stuff. Moto's working on what Moto? You want to tell Haley what you are working on? She's asking.
Sure. So let me show you a photograph of what the final looks like. This is it's a car from a show called Supernatural. It's in its 15th and last season, and the guys of the show, they drive a car. It's a 67 Chevy Impala. So custom stickers, a lot of fun work. And I mailed it to someone who said they digitized it for free, which was really cool, and they shipped it back. But what I'm doing is working on a Studio CAD file so that I can get the file out there to any fan of the show, and they can try to go through and knock themselves out on this build. Maybe even break it down into instructions.
Sounds like Haley's going to be looking for those plans. It looks like she loves that show. So,
yeah, if you like Supernatural, you'd recognize that trunk.
It sounds like she has been wanting to make a Technic Verizon, or maybe a Technic version. So,
yeah, Baby's
Verizon, but I'm guessing Technic version probably.
Yeah, Baby is the name of the car. It's a great car. And if she's a fan of the show, there's the initials scratched in. You can open the hood and put a air intake manifold blower in there. So there's a full red engine with chrome. I basically built this off of technical blueprints for a 67 Impala. So the proportions are accurate. It's got some nice part usage in there. There's the main characters, some characters. Crowley, Bobby, Castiel, Dean, Sam. And then if you know the lore of the TV show, you might like this little thing. There's a little green army guy piece jammed into the door. I actually put some Lego rods in a holder underneath the dashboard because in the movie or in the show, when they're kids, they throw Lego pieces, red and white Lego pieces into the air vents and they rattle as they drive. So this car will actually rattle if you shake it. So there's a little bit of Lego lore with this car. But this is from season 1. It's got the police lamps on there. Kansas license plates. They're from Lawrence, Kansas. I actually lived in Lawrence, Kansas for quite a while. And then I used that chrome insulation tape. I cut it really thin and then laid all these in as decals. And then to make them look like true Lego decals, I came back and cut back about a 32nd or 16th of an inch on every slope or plate to make it look as if it was a Lego kit. And yeah, you can see their FBI badges are in there. They have a ghost scanner. They've got a bunch of weapons in a trunk that folds out. They've got a demon trap painted on the hood or on the trunk so they can throw a demon in there. There's a salt shaker, gasoline, shovel. Go ahead and dig up a grave and throw some salt and gasoline, burn it. It's kind of a fun show.
Yes, she said now you need some Scooby-Doo figs.
But yeah.
Well, it'd be
That's
kinda
what
cool.
everybody has said. I put this on display and they said that I need to build the mystery machine and put it right next to it for a Supernatural Do crossover. But unfortunately, I'm done with cars. I mostly build spaceships. This was just a one-off because I love the show so much.
Well, it looks nice.
Yeah. Pretty sick, kind of fun.
Almost would be interesting to see how it would do on Lego Ideas. Almost, you kind of wonder, huh?
I have a feeling due to the nature of the show, they would not pick it up.
Oh yeah, you're right. I guess yeah, you're right because it's demon hunting and all that.
It's a horror. It is a horror show.
What kind of? Yeah, but like everybody's been joking about all the stuff they're picking up right now. You just kind of, for the adult fans, you never know because aren't they doing like James Bond and all kinds? They're doing all kinds of weird stuff too that everybody laughs at too. Is like, well, I mean, 10 years ago we would have been like on some of these, be like, really? Not in a million years. And of course they bring it out. So yeah, probably not. But then you never know. I mean, even as a car, it might be kind of cool too. You never know.
You know what? Maybe I could slip this under the radar, but by just saying it's a 67 Chevy Impala build, and just let it kind of glide on through.
take the demonic. Take the demonic thing off the hood thing there, and probably.
Well, you can't do that. You got to have a truck full of weapons if you know the show. It's just not gonna. It's just. But yeah, if you know the show, you can write an IM. Let me know how accurate I got the figs. And no, I don't have a trench coat for Castiel, unfortunately. That'd be more customization. But yeah, I spray painted a lot of parts silver to make this work. Kind of a fun.
I haven't figured out how to make any of the trench stuff. I'll have to figure out how to try and do that. I do capes. I'll have to figure out how to do that one of these days. So
there is a template for a trench. It's not a big deal. It's just that I haven't bought the material or bothered to do it.
That one, I think the trenches, where you might have to do something with the arms. You have to take the arms out maybe and put them possibly. I don't know.
What did I do here? I did something horribly wrong.
So, well, you definitely made Haley's Haley's night by showing her that car. Haley's been dominating
Oh,
the
good.
chat.
Good. I'm glad you like the car. Yeah, it's a fun little build. Well, not so little build.
So that's good. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, Supernatural fans are like no others. Oh my, you will.
I think I've watched the
There.
show years ago, but I try to avoid TV. About the only shows I get sucked into now really are probably JAG and an occasional movie or something. Actually, that's probably why I was a little stressed getting into the stream tonight. Was I made the mistake of turning the TV on after dinner looking for a movie or something.
Oh man, I really screwed this model up. Undo.
Huh. Just need to have like 20 different versions of it, right?
Yeah, it looks like I messed up that floorboard pretty bad early on. Not a big deal.
That's not well. If you know, do you have multiple copies of the file too, or not?
No, I'm just going to reposition this thing. I just have to hide like 20 million things, stuff and things. Just turn the eyeball off, and then I can lay it back in there. I must have just grabbed it by accident. It's not a big deal.
Well, yeah. I mean, we do that, and I do that in DD all the time. I'm like, oh, I didn't want to grab that. I wanted to grab the bricks that are on top, not the plate.
Yeah. The one thing I did hear about this build is it is impossible to do an LDD. It is flat out never going to work.
Oh, probably because of some of the build techniques. What are you using?
Yeah,
what are you using to build it in?
This is Studio.
Oh, okay.
Bricklink Studio. Yeah.
Well, probably because they probably figured they could probably do techniques that there's 10 people watching and 10 people watching and only Haley's chatting, but hey,
it's I can tell you I just straight out just started with Studio. I don't know anything about LDD, but this thing is very forgiving, and you can like you saw the legal techniques that are in this front end alone. There's no way LDD would have accepted any of that.
No, yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously I actually have been using LDD for years. I mean, I got lots of creations out there, and it just probably that's what I started with, and tried to just need to try some other stuff. Maybe when a lot of it is I go into LED just for the familiarity of it and the fact that obviously if I'm building stuff, I want to build it quick. I'm already familiar with it. Maybe as I get more organized in my collection and get more time, I'll probably look into more things.
I'm just learning it as I go. This LDD or this Studio is a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I have to play a little bit. Well, obviously the program I'm using to stream these days is a beast too, but I have not gotten over 10 people in here at some point. Hopefully this fall I'll be able to get the 25. My computer says it'll actually let use it, even though the program said it'll do 100. I'd be happy with about 20. I just want to see if it'll do it at one of these times. One of these Fridays where there's not as much going on. And we get everybody, get the whole gang in here and have a true party without all the booze, with all the booze and all the drugs, obviously, or fake drugs. I guess Lego is a drug, so I guess just no booze, but our drug of choice, Lego bricks.
Of course.
Hopefully not as addictive as an opioid. Obviously, let's hope. I've been actually cut back a lot of my spending.
Yeah, don't even.
What?
Don't even joke about opiates. Those things are nasty.
Well, I think a lot of it too is I think it's like you said. I think a lot of that is just I think it's there's pain and everything. I know my one friend's been. I mean, he fell and hurt his back, so I mean he's obviously been using the marijuana for his back. And I mean, but there's just, I think the problem is I think there needs to be alternatives. And I think
what is going on?
Opioids are one of those things that just does it Reed wants to break the internet. Yeah, I'll break the internet. We need. I'm hooked on ABS. With Hoosier says party woo ABS for life. Yeah. Well, I mean this. I mean with the fact that Google Hangouts on Air disappeared, and that had hold 10, and the StreamYard will hold 6. I mean I went looking. This I can stream on YouTube or Facebook. It'll say it'll do 100. I'm paying for it. I am paying for it every month. That reminds me, I got to remember when I got to pay for the next month. So it goes through, and then, but it says to do 100. My computer says it'll do 25. So we've had 10. We almost broke the barrier the one night, but as someone left, someone was getting ready to join, somebody left. So hopefully we'll hit a bunch here soon coming up, because we get closer to the fouler weather. Hopefully it'll drive more of our people inside. And like I joked, I mean, my goal is I'd love to have the TFLs, the teen fans of Lego, be at their high school football game and have a earpiece in there and kind of be listening to the game and watching the football game and be like, when somebody goes, "What's the earpiece for?" I go, "Well, you got your sport, I got mine, and I'm gonna show my team spirit and root for my team here, but I'll be rooting for my team online also here, and that'd be kind of funny because I am going up against Friday Night Football, as anybody knows. Last week I went to my nephew's game. My mom went to his game tonight, obviously because I'm doing this. So, but yeah, he's a beast too. He plays pretty good. He's not really a football player, but he did play pretty good last week. He's more of a basketball, baseball player. So, but I mean, it is Friday Night Bricks, kind of like Friday Night Lights. We got lots of lights, lots of light bricks, I guess. Well,
let's try this out.
It'll probably automatically come out. I need to, I got a lot of things that automatically come out. I just need to make sure everything works good. That's why I'm hoping to sell some Lego tomorrow. That's why I'll probably end the stream probably at about 10:30, so I can get to bed. I got to be up at normal time for like work because I got to drive an hour. Plus I got to load up. I didn't get my shelf set the way I do. Plus I'll be setting up my canopy by myself, which the first time I think pretty much taught me what I need to do the next time, but we'll see. So be pretty cool. Canopy's got a back, and I actually bought sides, so I'm put sides on it. So you have one way in and out of my stall tomorrow, because obviously with a couple hundred Lego sets, it'd be nice to not have too many exits. So this is what I'll be. That's what I'll be sitting in, and then I've got two sides. The back actually have pockets, so it'll be pretty cool. Pretty cool. And the Badgers, the Badgers play at 11. They play Michigan, so that should be entertaining. And then I've got a shelf that I put cardboard on. That'll be kind of what I'll put the sets on. So hopefully they'll all fit on here. I got lots of small sets. Hopefully they'll go in pockets, whatever. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But yeah, we'll probably end at about 10:30. Thanks for everybody coming in, and I appreciate it. It's nice to get back to a nice, neat viewership. Did have about what I have 6 in tonight. So we're getting back to the numbers. At some point, I'm taking an HTML CSS class. Hopefully, at some point, the streams might actually be going also on my website on hopecastle.org. I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to get that. So it's actually, you don't have to necessarily go just necessarily to YouTube. For Railroad Crossing game, you know what I would do, Hoosiers? Have you looked at some of the older Lego sets? Because I've actually kind of liked some of those. I like the older ones that actually had the like the towers. Let me look. Let me find my brick by brick app here, and because some of those older ones I wish I could have got a hold of. They've been pretty cool. Let's see, all sets. Because they've done some neat ones. Definitely with the mills these days, you might even be able to make some automated gates if you can get some Technic motors and maybe figure out a way to get it so it just only goes so far. With the gearing, you can probably get it so it'll go up and down. Definitely with the boost and all the technologies that are out there these days, you can probably use sensors and just have it go up at certain times. Or figure out a way to program it with the S brick, where you can maybe actually maybe make it look like it's automated, but be turning yourself and just running it up yourself. But let's see here. Actually, you know what? This one was pretty cool back in the day. I never got it. Let's see here. Oh, come on. That one's pretty cool. And she got a tower there with the gates. That was kind of neat. It's pretty much basic. You got a basic gate system there. That one's okay. I don't think either one of those is the ones I'm really looking for. Maybe it is. Maybe that first one was the one I liked. But they've done a few of them and they've been pretty cool. If nothing else, too, is just if nothing else, just search. I'd maybe search on YouTube and see if there's any really, and they've done a bunch of them. See if there's any of the videos out there, because I've seen some good train videos over the years where I've just kind of stumbled upon them, where the guys actually have some automated crossings. You know, see here, look at this. This is a remote control 12 volt. I don't know how that worked, but you know. I mean, it's probably got, oh, you know, that's elevated too, but it's got the boxes, but you could, on mills, you could probably hide that easily with a couple hills right next door to it. That's the nice thing is, and not only that, your mills is too high. So if your mills is too high, you can hide stuff that normally probably wouldn't even be on a layout because those boxes would be too big. So, I mean, you've got definitely possibilities. But definitely look out there. I mean, that's what I'd recommend, just because of the sake that I've I looked because I wanted to automate the trains out in Denver. I wanted to purchase about 5 or 6 S bricks, motorize all the switches, and do stuff like that. So I've looked and just stumbled across all kinds of good videos out there on YouTube, especially the people in Europe. I mean, they're notorious for just having their layouts run around the floors, and gates are going up and down, and I mean, and a lot of them are automated. So, yeah. I mean, there's lots of options out there, but definitely look out there. That's what I do. And with your double high mills, like I said, you got a lot more options than most people do. Just a second. I think I heard something. Hold on. Let's see if I can mop. Well, that's downright weird, but I'd say in any other situation, I'd say it's weird, but my sister is deceased and I heard creaking. I don't know. So it's kind of, I mean, we do have the Brickhead family, but I mean, obviously I heard a creak, thought my mom was home. She's not home. So I don't know. Maybe my little sister's trying to scare me. So, but we're not secure upstairs. So interesting. Okay. See you, Jude. Have a good night. So it's weird. But as people say, old houses creak. This is from the 70s, but weird.
Hey, Reed.
Yeah.
Do you want to see Assembly from Hell?
Is that what I'm looking at right now?
So check this out. Hinge, clip, slope, studs in, clip, another clip to a slope, and the 2 kiss right here for the perfect angle. So you get a rear panel right in there. compound clips all bound together because this studs into top of this one. Clip and clip to set that perfect angle.
And what's that for?
Sure. It's the rear pillar of a car.
Oh, and that's what's holding the roof, huh? The roof on the very top there.
The roof will clip into this bad boy right here. This is the rear pillar, and it gets hidden. This part gets covered up by another panel on the back. But well, that's not right. Now that I'm staring, I really outdid myself on that one. Yeah, there's a little teeny space for a 1x1 plate that goes right on top of the stud. That's missing.
1x1 stud or 1x1 tile?
Tile. Yeah, 1x1 tile.
I was gonna say it's just.
Let's throw that down. Oops. Come on, snap to it. Burp. Check that out.
Yeah, there you go.
This is something that you can only do if you work with bricks directly. This is something that you can only build when you're building with bricks. There's no way in the world someone would probably figure this out in CAD. Because of tolerances, if you look at this, I don't think LDD would let you do that.
Well, LDD
It would
probably
lose its.
LDD probably wouldn't, but that program honestly did, so you might be able to do it in there, but you might be playing for a while. Because I mean,
that's why
trying to get the exact angles that you got there would be tough in LDD because you've only got so much. There's so much to turn it, and you don't know where that actual angle is. But in bricks, you'll know because it'll just when you twist them and turn them, they're going to snap into place. Whereas on the program, it's going to be a little bit tougher to play because you don't have that ability to just kind of handle it and do it. I mean, you're working with a sensory object. So
the trick in Studio, the trick is this grid tool. You can make it super fine grained where you can go to 1/10 of a degree or 100th of a degree. How much was that thing? Let's try this again. So if I hinge off of that joint, yeah, see, it's 100th of a degree accuracy. I mean, Studio is really designed for people who have a mock and they really want to nugget everything in.
Yeah, and they want to push the bricks to the extreme that they're possible to do with the different techniques that most people wouldn't even think of using that many hinges on to get that effect. Most of the really good builders would, but your general builders wouldn't be trying to do that, so.
Yeah, no kidding. You're assuming I'm a good builder. Here we go. But yeah, look at that.
I mean, your techniques are better than what I got. That's for sure. My techniques went cold when I went into the dark ages. So, I mean, I need to try to bring them back out, but they might not have been that good to begin with. So
Haley's probably losing her mind right now. So Haley, if she wants to build this thing, this is what you're up against. Welcome to my world.
Well, hopefully the plans will make it a little bit easier for her to do it. That or should be asking for a one-on-one, hangouts call type thing where you can talk to her.
Oh God, I don't know.
There might be somewhere you might have to charge extra on the plan, saying, I do offer one-on-one consultations at such and such an hour to help you build it.
No way. I could never do that. I'd rather be building. You know me, I got that big spaceship to finish, man. It's 7 feet tall. Let's see, this is the rear.
Oh, so what is the next one going to be something you can actually sit in then? Is that what you're aiming for? And make it like 12 feet and actually have a cockpit that you could sit in?
No. I mean, if you want, I will walk the camera out to the garage and show you what it's like right now.
No, that's okay. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I don't want to do that.
No, we'll save that for a future episode. I mean, it's not like you're going anywhere. Like you said, I mean, it's good to have you back in here. It's always good to have people. I mean, some weeks are better than others. It's just, it's nice when Kevin can jump in. It kind of helps. I mean, he's got a little bit bigger following and a little bit more charisma than I have. My charisma behind the screen isn't as good as my charisma in person. Anybody who's visited me in the Lego store knows that. And anybody who's visited me in the Lego store knows that if they aren't careful, I'll talk their ear off and they'll never get to leave the Lego store. So, that's the other problem. That's why we always joked. It's like, after a Lego meeting in Denver, I mean, crap, I spent hours in the parking lot after the meeting talking, It's just, that's kind of the nature of the beast. It's kind of, don't do as much of that now. I mean, nowadays our meetings are like an hour long. We do our challenges and all that. And then, with the way we do the support brick, I mean, people can spend time gathering brick, but that program is going to end next year because they don't send parts anymore. So basically, they actually have, a vault for all the sets and bins full of pieces. So all the pieces go in the bins. So instead of like in Denver, where we used to just take the pieces after the show and just dump them in bins and just go through them all right away. The nice thing about Whistler is they've got the bins, they got all the pieces, and you get a quart-sized bag for every show you do. And then at a meeting that has the brick, you just fill your bag. So you're filling it at a leisurely pace, which I love, because then you're not rushing to get stuff that, I could get maybe a couple meetings later or whatnot. You can't take all of one part. You can take a bunch of them. Pretty cool. Plus you get minifig parts. You get so many of those, like 20 per bag, because those are in their own bags and stuff. And so pretty interesting, but all their sets are in vaults. They're actually getting ready to do, tomorrow is their first I think third or fourth draft this year. So they do an incentive draft where you earn points by the shows you go to. And I think I'm at 82 points, I think, right now. So, announcements. Okay, it's VIP stuff. I don't know what that something. I think I did that already, but so they got a bunch of the new sets and stuff. But I got like 82 points. I think I'm gonna try and get some more white 2x4 bricks and a couple of the Eagles. The Eagles from was it Angry Birds? They got the big eagle. Get a couple more of those, and then I think maybe one of the cars, one of the creator cars. But they got a bunch of stuff. They got the new space stuff and everything. And there's guys that have a couple hundred points. And I mean, I probably should try and save my points so I can get something big when I want it. But I need more of these 2x4 white bricks. This is what I did the last draft. I got a nice bag of white bricks, 2x4s. So I'll use those for the castle. And this is the way I get parts now. I do the drafts. We do parts drafts. This is where I get my parts now, since I can't get to the pick-a-brick wall as much as I'd like. So but pretty cool stuff. So who's still in the chat? Anybody still here? Everybody been kind of slowly disappearing. Basically, I'm calling for a hand check, guys.
I'm here.
I know you're here. I just seen who else is still in the chat. I know we've seen a bunch over the last bit here. I know Haley was in here. Hoosier was in here. Bluegrass, Dreamers, Doc. No, Juju left. I don't know who else is. Definitely know I need to go to bed here soon. Obviously, I'm used to getting up with not much sleep, but obviously I don't usually do it on a Saturday. Oh, Bluegrass is still here. Cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously, on the days where I got stuff going on, I mean, obviously, hopefully I won't have too many of these things where I have to have shorter shows. I do like the longer shows, and I think I set the default for, the later we get, it does kind of get a little bit slower. I mean, obviously, my goal would be to get to the point where I can, get, let's say, a lot of people early, and then the diehards would be late. I mean, if I could stream from my new area, then they might go all night into the morning, which could be kind of scary. But because it'd be like the old Lego store where once I start going, I don't stop. But the problem is I have a lot of music there, so. Random parts I need to sort. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, no, I actually like the parts. I prefer the parts over the sets because I can do more with parts than I can with sets. Just like we discussed early in the stream. I mean, if I want, this corner, or I probably won't want that. But let's say I want this noodle for something for building, like a round building or something round. I don't want to buy 40 sets just to get the couple hundred I want. But nowadays the Bricklink is more robust than it's been in years. And I mean, I've got lots of stuff to sort. Just like that, I've been kind of trying to count stuff as I go here because I'm going to count it and sort it. I mean, this is what I've been doing, Jim. I don't know. The last I've got these I almost dropped it. The Sterilite bins. Actually, so let's see here. So basically, on the why am I don't know what that's going. Okay, so the Sterilite bins, the small ones, the 3 and 5s, I basically have taken index cards and actually divided it. It used to be 3 sections, and now I've done 6. And so the goal is to utilize these because I got I think 128 drawers, which in the end will give me like 700 basically part slots. And so that's kind of what I'm going to try and do, is try to do those. So I've been trying to augment some of my drawers with that, and that's kind of, so I mean, and the thing is, well, like I said, I mean, I'm in a standard storage right now, and so I mean, I'm walking down a pathway to do anything in storage, which kind of sucks. I mean, obviously, it'd be nicer to have a much easier setup for sorting. Obviously, I think I probably have a picture somewhere of how nutty it is, and I've had to unbox. I mean, there's some of the bins there. So, I mean, there's some of the bins that have actually been pulled out of the bags and stuff. But that's not really the picture I was looking for. Where is it? I just showed somebody the other day. Was it in the favorites section, maybe? Yeah. So here you go. So, I mean, I've had to pull all my boxes out of the Home Depot stuff. So, I mean, those are all my sealed sets. I mean, and this is one. I mean, obviously there's that one on the section over here on this side is actually the center, going down the center of storage. So there's obviously shelves on both sides. So, I mean, it's pretty nuts. So lots and lots of sets, and and basically what you're seeing there is what's still out there for the most part. Cause I mean, I've been bringing stuff to the house that I'm going to try and sell. So we'll see. It'd be kind of crazy. So. Luckily, I have a new vehicle for transporting, which always helps. I got that back in. I get that early, back in June. Picked that up, or right before there. So, and of course, everybody who's been shopping at the Lego stores for a while remember the old display cases. This is actually over at the Bricks and Minifig store here in Madison. I wish I had the short, long one that. Mancuso's got 2 of, because that would be a lot cooler than that tall one, but I don't know if he'll ever part with those. So, but so lots of good stuff. But yeah, I mean, sorting is a process that hopefully, Jim, I'm going to be able to get done with. Hopefully in the next year or so. That's the goal. Get it sorted, get it organized, figure out what I can maybe part with or whatnot. So that's the goal. Sorting is the key, so you can have organized stuff. But Jim, everybody does love my shirts. The printed shirt, I mean, actually, I joked. I mean, I thought, I mean, actually, the badge part, I guess Simon from Canada used to do that years ago. But the shirt with all my stuff for the castle, everybody loves that, and you get all the credit, Jim, because you were the one that did it for your carnival. And so I tell him, well, hey, it's this carnival guy out in Colorado. He had those shirts for his thing, and I mean, I started doing it, and I just need to get the store out in Mills to make me some new ones, but I don't think they have my old they can't seem to find my old file. They got a couple of them, they just don't have the right one, so I'm gonna have it figure out how to send them a new one. So we'll see, but I think it's good. Everybody okay if I end the stream? Nobody's gonna crazy. Well, it definitely is nice. I mean, obviously I'm on my, I don't know, probably third business card. Obviously I'm using the nice picture that the one photographer took years ago with me behind the castle. Pretty good picture. Doesn't have the whole thing, but it looks pretty good. So that's the new card for Hope Castle. So, been using I use a fair amount of those. I should remember to see if I should take some tomorrow, but obviously I'm selling. I'm not really promoting the castle too much. So, but yeah, it's good. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it tonight. Thanks for everybody showing up this week. Obviously, this stream is definitely over 3 hours. It's almost 4. Feel free to stop back next week, episode 73, I believe, and same place, same great channel. Definitely, if you're someone who wants to be in here talking, definitely get me your email to scoop_shovel@yahoo.com, and I can make sure the invite goes out to you. It's a Zoom meeting program. It's just gonna send you a link. You just come in. Setting it up kind of gets a little tricky once in a while. Just make sure when I ask you for audio, I think I did computer audio. So it just says hook up with computer audio and it works for me. So.
Hey, Reed, thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody's looking to do stuff tomorrow night, I think Haley and those guys, Haley and Hoosier and them do the Saturday Night Lego. So definitely tune in there. I might be able to tune into that on my drive back from where I'm at. If I'm still, because I'll have to see if I'm going to do both days. I might just do tomorrow. We'll see how strenuous setup is, so, and how well I do.
Well, thanks, Reed, for hosting this.
Yep.
I nearly got done, so I'm pretty pleased.
Thanks, everybody.